everybody. It's Friday night. It's our favorite show of the week.
Yep.
Here we are.
Yep. Sidetracks.
Yeah.
Tonight is going to be... Tonight is, Friday shows are always kind of like Open Lines Friday, where we sit and drink with you and escort you into the weekend.
I mean, not escort like that kind of escort.
Yeah. Well... you have to hit us up the right way through back channels, and we can discuss some shit, But
yeah, I mean, we're not completely.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to be like some fucking dude up in Saudi, and fucking you're gonna have to take us. You're gonna have to take us to fucking Dubai. God damn it. We're talking about Dubai type money, motorcycle type money.
I feel like motorcycle type money is like a lot less than Dubai type money.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'm talking about new shit, 20 grand, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I do quite a bit for 20. Well, I don't want to say that.
She's putting it out there.
I don't want to say that.
No.
Because, like, if you say something like that in public, people will be like, well, how about this? And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, because then you have...
But it's tempting.
You have Tammy out there going fucking talking about pegging me and shit.
Yeah, I don't think Tom will let me peg him even for $20,000.
No.
Unfortunately.
Not on video.
Not on video. Maybe he'll just let me do it, and then just let me tell people about it.
Secret agent on that shit.
Yeah,
just fucking bear down, just fucking put a blindfold on. Tell me when it's over.
You could wear a mask or
wear a mask. You're like Ving Rhames out of fucking.
Although I feel like everybody would recognize your bald head and your guns.
It's fucking funny.
They're like, obviously that's Tom, even though he has a mask on.
We're just fucking around. But,
I know. I like
drinking vodka.
I like to tease them.
Yeah, Publix bought out some new soda. And
it's called Wedge Grapefruit.
Wedge Grapefruit is grapefruit soda, which is Fresca. But it's good.
It essentially does taste like Fresca, or at least what I remember Fresca tasting like, because I haven't had a Fresca in a long time. They don't make that anymore, do they?
Goes what? Yeah, they make Fresca.
Oh, do they?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a Pepsi product.
I didn't know they still made it. I used to get that when I was little. Like from my dad's, when my dad worked in a magic market, I used to get it and take one to school.
Fresca's good. It's because it's tart, but it's not real sweet like 7-Up. It has a slight bitterness to it. From grapefruit.
And it does taste like grapefruit, but it's not like super grapefruit.
Yeah, I love grapefruit and vodka, but the problem is that you drink a lot of it, it's real acidic.
Oh yeah.
So having a grapefruit soda with vodka is a lot easier on you. It tastes good.
Because I like them too, like I said. But when I have vodka and grapefruit, the same thing happens. Yeah. When I have as vodka and cranberry, and when I have gin and tonic, I will throw up.
Yeah, burns you up.
If I drink enough of them. If I just have one or two, it'll be fine. But if I have more than 3 or 4, then yeah, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Because it'll just be too acid. Camp Guy is asking, he's asking Brian Sanchez what the average humidity was in the summer. I guess in Arizona.
Average humidity is 0 in Arizona.
Yeah, it's pretty dry. I've never been to Arizona. I've been to New Mexico.
Yeah.
But I've never been to Arizona.
Yeah, they don't have humidity there.
But yeah, the humidity here is fucking
100%.
Pretty much, yeah.
100%.
Like I said, it's like an outdoor sauna at all times. That's why we keep the air cranked down.
It's constantly on the edge of raining. It rains at least once a day in the summer.
Yeah, Tom was out mowing the lawn today.
It started raining.
And then, I heard the mower go off, and then he came in, and I looked out the window. It was like...
Yeah.
I was like...
I was doing it in the rain until it got so bad that I was like, okay, now I got to go in.
I mean, at least it's cooler.
I got like 80% of it done. The only thing I don't have done is in the back anyway, so... But, all the visible shit's done.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting rained on, like, out in this weather.
It got hard to cut because the grass got wet.
Yeah, that's
so it's heavier to cut.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Because he was going to do it yesterday, but it rained yesterday, too. That's the thing. In Florida in the summertime...
Rains every day.
There's thunderstorms, like, pretty much every afternoon.
Yeah.
Or it looks like it's going to thunderstorm and then gets super humid and then it's just nothing happens. But it usually does, like, thunderstorm really bad.
Yeah.
Lightning and everything.
Yeah, it looks like Papa's in. What's up, Papa?
Yeah, everybody's here.
Everybody's here. Having a good turnout. Everybody showed up fucking to party with us. This is the fucking party show.
The party show. Yeah, Klaus is asking about the topic. Nah, we never have a topic on these.
Yeah, there isn't. We're open to all topics.
Like I said, a long time ago, we started doing the Sidetracks show. Because on our regular show,
started getting sidetracked.
People were complaining about how much we were getting sidetracked, like talking about other shit. Because, like I said, I would bring up some little minutia about something, and Tom would go off on this thing.
Go off on a tangent.
And then I'd be like, "Wait, where were we?"
Yeah.
So
some people complain about that.
Some people complain. Nobody really does.
Other people liked it though.
Yeah.
So we had a whole separate show of just.
So we said, well, maybe I'll just start a whole show of just that, of just sidetracks where we don't have a topic. Yeah. But then it turned out now we have this show, and then on the regular show we also sidetrack on it. Because that's just how we do.
It didn't change that much.
It didn't really. Yeah. Oh well, that's why all our shows are like 3 or 4 hours long. Because it's like we just can't shut up.
Yep.
CB says Tom sounds drunk already. Not today. No. He didn't go to the biker bar like he did on Wednesday.
No, I've only been drinking for a few minutes since the show started.
Tequila. Yeah. Yeah, we just started.
We just started.
CB says, Jenny, your outfit looks nice. The Goth Summer collection.
Oh, yeah, man. The boobs are distracting me, man. I was sitting back here,
Before the show started, he's like,
come on,
let me get a side boob. And I was like, the show's going to start.
Side boob action going. Shit's accessible. Braless.
Well, you can't wear a bra with these kind of halter shirts.
It's just fucking hot, man.
It's like a little handkerchief type of...
Get there and molest that shit. You're like... She loves it when I molest her.
Yeah, I mean, he does. Well, I mean, there's a reason I wear this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Stick them out. Stick them out. There you go. Yeah. You guys gotta see this. Hold on, I'm gonna show you the side boob. Do it again, Jen. Do it again. Oh shit, we don't have the. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't knock the fucking shit over.
How the hell?
It's all tangled. It's all tangled. Yeah.
We used to have this shit on a fucking 10-foot fucking.
Don't give her seasickness.
Turn sideways. Shoulders back. She can't. There you go. All right.
Well, you're kind of.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. I like this shirt. I have a couple like this.
Yeah.
Some of them are. This is the most skull forward.
Yeah.
Of them, but I have one that's skulls that's like more subtle.
Yeah.
And I have a couple other. I have one that's like a. I think it's like a Renaissance painting or something like that, but I can't remember. I haven't worn that one in a long time.
Another one that you haven't worn is that long fucking crazy ass pink and white dress with the anime girl on it.
One of these days, I don't wear it out because
I can't boots to match it.
Because I can't dance in it because it just falls off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We can solve it.
It's cool looking. It needs some Velcro.
With that pink wig, I think I can hook that up. But we have to get you some kind of like either mint, kind of light green foundation, or a light blue foundation. Because you looked real olive complected against that pink wig. It was kind of crazy looking.
It did look kind of crazy.
We have to get so it's either kind of a mint green or a fucking light blue. We'd have to try either one, and then put your powder over it. You want to try to get as pale as possible, basically, with against pink. You know.
Yeah.
If you have any ruddiness in your skin, it's going to look kind of green. You looked kind of green.
I did look kind of green, yeah. I did not like it.
Yeah.
I look better with kind of like black hair or blue, like cool tones. I look better with like blue hair, purple hair.
Yeah.
The bright red looked okay too.
Yeah. Red would probably work with that in the back, or white.
Yeah, and white works. But for some reason, like the pink did not work out for me.
You looked green.
Yeah. It was not great.
You looked green and you looked 10 years older.
Yeah, that was another thing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was just the color.
Just what the color of the hair would do. Yeah. Because I put it on, I was like, "Ee, what the fuck?"
Yeah, you looked green and you looked like you were in your 60s.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was
an optical illusion, but that's how powerful color actually is.
Yeah.
And people don't realize, white people don't realize that they're not actually white. We're either pink or slightly brown.
Or yellowish.
And fucking, you start putting
beige.
bright colors next to it, you're going to look green. So, if you look green, usually what you do is you add blue foundation, or light blue foundation. That kind of neutralizes it. Then you go with white powder over it. If you're kind of yellowish, you put green on it, and then it kind of neutralizes. You look pale. You know what I mean? So, I think, but it was hard to tell what color you were on that.
Yeah.
I remember you being kind of green.
Yeah, I thought I looked kind of greenish too.
Yeah.
And like you said, like older.
Yeah, so probably a light blue. Morbid used to make a fucking beautiful light blue.
You would think
foundation.
though that I would think, being a graphic designer, knowing a lot about color and stuff, that your skin looking green would necessitate you having like a pinker foundation.
No, it's
just that's what would neutralize.
It's not really the way dyes work, I guess.
Because that would be the opposite.
Yeah.
Because blue is in the same.
I used to wear mostly blue, light blue, and I probably would have looked green with that pink wig too. And our skin tones are similar, so that's what it would have been light blue probably. Morbid makes it.
I used to have some, but I think I used it all up a long time ago.
Yeah. That was back when I was fucking full on fucking doing vampire makeup to the goth club.
Yeah. Camp Guy said, I didn't know this. Pearls are sold based on skin color. There is a pink pearl and a yellow pearl, like main colors. I didn't know that at all. Like, I just thought pearls were pearls. I mean, I know there were different colors of pearls, but I didn't realize that you bought them, like, based on your skin. Yeah, but I could see that now.
Bee's Nest is in. He's back from rehab. Yeah.
No more drinking for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Papa's laughing at armpit side boob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm in a chair, so it's kind of like awkward to like fucking, because he's always doing that, and I'm just like, okay. Yeah. CB said, Tom, be careful. A wardrobe malfunction will get 13 o'clock kicked out. It's not going anywhere. I don't think. It's not going anywhere unless he wants it to.
I'm an expert.
He better not.
I'm an expert.
He's an expert.
Yeah.
There's our friend Stu Core. Hi chat, Jenny, Tom. What do y'all recommend I watch to? I guess that's tomorrow. Make cool music videos or shit like that. I'm not sure. And I feel bad because it's like I haven't even like started in on all of that, the big list of movies that you sent, because I just got inundated with work this past week and I just didn't have time to do anything. Like I said, I hopefully this weekend I want to get put up, because I did actually finally watch, because I know a couple of y'all recommended Demon Witch Child, and I did watch it and I did like do a review of it. I just haven't got around to like editing it or putting it up yet, so hopefully this weekend sometime I'll have time. But man, I had so much fucking work this week. I was working right up until like half an hour before the show, just trying to finish it so I didn't have to do it over the weekend, you know what I mean? That's all. Somebody asked something up here that I was going to answer, but maybe... Yeah, Business says no more drinking for me. Oh, that's a shame.
Yep. He's banned from drinking.
He's banned from drinking.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
You need to get back on test, bitch. Just shoot up fucking test.
And then drink?
No, don't drink at all.
I was going to say.
So he can build himself back up.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Klaus also says, the vibe from these two is awesome. Love it. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We do get that a lot. I'm not sure what
it's even better in person.
I can't put my finger on it. Well, yeah, evidently. Evidently.
Yeah.
Because, man, we get like all kind of love.
Yeah. A lot of free drinks. Bars give us drink. The bartenders fucking do shots with us.
Yeah, they just love us.
Yeah.
And we're not like real...
Girls making out with Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just strangers coming up being like, you guys are so awesome. It's just like we're just like doing regular shit.
Yeah. We got fans at the club. Most of them know us. They've known us forever.
Yeah. Or they've seen us around before. But it's like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like I said, I guess we just have good energy, maybe. Or we look like we're having a good time, which we are.
Yeah.
Which we are. I'm really excited about going next week because...
Yeah, man.
Last Saturday was fun, but it's Memento Mori, which is...
It was the goth night.
It's the goth night, which I don't... conversely, like, I know this is kind of weird, but I don't like the music as much.
Although it was good last week.
It was actually good last week.
He played good goth stuff.
He's been trending more toward playing older shit. Stuff.
Because the new shit's not very good.
Because that seems to be what even, like, the younger goth people that show up there, that's what they're responding to. So he still plays some new stuff, but he tends to like stick with older stuff and classics, which is fine with me. But like I said, I tend to like the 80s stuff better because, one, I don't know, it's just like a more fun vibe, and
it's more danceable. And
it's more danceable. Everybody's drinking. It's like he could throw on like something silly like Wham or something, and everybody's like whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like so there's all the goths out there dancing to Wham.
It's an older crowd, and they're more moneyed.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? far less of a chance of. Well, there's never any chance of getting in a fight at the fucking goth night there.
No.
But that fucking crowd, the new wave crowd, they're 30s, 40s, 50s, and most of them mostly couples.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. And it's a higher end venue, so drinks are kind of expensive, which kind of weeds out riffraff. And
like I said,
it's a good place to meet dudes you want to do business.
Yeah.
Most of the people are business owners.
You can't just walk up to it either.
Yeah.
You have to because it's on its own, so you have to drive to it, and there's nothing else around really that you'd be walking around.
Yeah. So there's no real broke dicks in there. Everybody's some business owner or Jen is making out with fucking Charisse, and she's fucking like one of the main nurses running Orlando General. Cute little goth chick.
Yeah, I think both her and Toby work at Orlando.
Her and Toby. Yeah, that's my leather daddy buddy. They work together. They hang out together too, constantly.
Yeah, they're always together.
Go camping and shit.
Yeah, last week, Toby got his ring caught in my wig and almost pulled most of it. Yeah. I think I kind of caught it before it was too bad, but I had to run to the bathroom and
It didn't pull it off.
No, it didn't come off all the way. It wasn't
he just tugged it.
He just kind of got it caught on there. So I was just kind of because he always has a lot of spikes, and he has these big long rings with the big claws
and fucking leather daddy stuff and fucking bondage gear. And
that's the thing. Goth clothing is very dangerous. It's it catches on everything. So putting it all on is kind of a pain because I'm always putting the stockings on, and it's my fingernails are catching and tearing holes in them, and they're getting caught on my toes and all this other kind of shit. You're zipping up the boots, and the stockings get caught in the zipper, and then it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I got a ring caught in my wig a while back, and I didn't notice until later on. I was going through my wigs, and I found a ring caught in there.
It was your ring?
Mine, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was mine. So I must have been either when I was putting it on or when I was taking it off, it must have pulled the ring out and it just got caught in there and I didn't notice. So it's pretty funny actually. But like I said, I was thinking about it all the next day, holy crap, that was so. That was a bummer, but I don't it didn't come. It just kind of slid, and I was just kind of oh shit, I gotta go fix it. And he felt so bad. He was just I was man, don't worry about it. It's fine. Everybody knows I wear these, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Man, I've been stuck in the house all week, and
she's been working her ass off.
I've been so busy.
Graphics and shit, graphic design.
Well, it's because I do a lot of shit for car dealerships, and 4th of July is coming up.
Yeah.
So I had to do 4th of July ads for everybody. And the thing about it is that the bigger dealerships that are official Honda or Toyota dealerships, they have all of these rules. So it's every time you do a single ad, they have to run it through compliance. Mm-hmm. And they're always well, you can't see this, and you can't use these words, and this can't all be caps, and this can't this, and it's a huge. Mm-hmm. And if you put a car in the ad, you have to say exactly what car it is and what the MSRP of it is and all this other kind of crap. So it's so every single time you try to remember everything, but you can't, and then you run it through compliance, and they're nope, and they kick it back, and then you have to fix it, and it's just this big nightmare. The smaller ones are not as bad because they just sell all the used cars, so you don't have to put all of that all of the disclaimers and all that other kind of shit in there. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, so I've been doing all this fucking 4th of July shit. And I put on the what you call it, on the what do you call those, thumbnail? On the thumbnail, I put a little skeleton with a birthday hat and a birthday cake because Tom's birthday is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
Stu Core's acting what? Do we know Stu? Do we know Stu?
Yeah. That's
guy works at the store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the guy.
What songs did he do?
What songs did he do?
What goth songs did he? They were all goth songs, all of them. Sisters of Mercy, Susie and the Banshees stuff.
Yeah, what did he play last week?
Everything.
Early on, he almost always plays he plays Echo and the Bunnymen and Peter Murphy and Concrete Blonde.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what else he played. Killing Joke. He usually plays Killing Joke. I'm trying to remember. But then
did he do Dance Society?
No, I think that was the week
John.
before because John always plays
John.
them.
Yeah.
I like them a lot, but John likes them too, but he always plays a couple of their songs.
He started going into later stuff, you know what I mean? Fucking,
well, then he starts playing like VMV Nation and Covenant and stuff like that, which I kind of, you know, and like
more industrial
aesthetic
stuff.
Perfection, like that kind of stuff. Which that stuff is okay, but it's not really
Front 242.
Yeah, like but he played some classic industrial too. Well, he played Ministry, Stigmata,
a lot of Skinny Puppy,
which I was into. Yeah, like so as long as he's playing that kind of stuff, that's fine. I don't think he played like Thrill Kill Cult or anything, but not that I remember anyway. I was getting pretty drunk as the night went on, so I remember dancing to shit. I remember particularly dancing to that Ministry song, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of what happened after that. But yeah, he usually starts out with 80s, like 80s goth, like Susie and stuff, and then he'll go more into like EBM and shit like that. Might play like Nitzarab, probably.
Says he wants to go to the club with us. You can meet us at the club, but you ain't going with us because fucking bad shit happens between me and her in the car.
Every single time.
We can shoot all kinds of fucking porn flicks on the way back.
Every single time.
Yeah.
We can't help ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, shit, last week, I don't think we even said this on the show, but last Friday after this show, we went down to Circle K, got sandwiches, we came home and ate them, and then we got back in the car,
we went down,
drove around the neighborhood, and fucked on the golf course.
Yeah, by the water. Yeah. People driving by and shit.
I don't think anybody
couldn't see them.
I don't think anybody saw us. There's not like any lights out there, and I'm sure because I looked the next day. I said I'm sure if somebody saw us, they'd have been like whining about it on Nextdoor.
Yeah. No.
So won't someone think of the children? You know what I mean? I'm like, bitch, it was like 1:30 in the morning.
1:30 at night, man. Fucking out on the golf course.
There's nobody out there.
You know, our housing our housing community is built around a golf course. It's a Black Bear Reserve, and that bitch is fucking busy constantly. You go down there, it's fucking packed.
And there's like a restaurant there too.
Restaurant and a bar. But it was closed.
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, it was like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it
wasn't.
wasn't
Got lakes and little ponds and shit and fucking little paths and.
I was thinking today, oh man, like what if we had gone out there and we were like fucking on the edge of the golf course and then like we got attacked by an alligator. That'd have been like
we were too far from water.
If we'd been on meth, that would have been the most Florida death ever.
Yeah. You Florida methed out getting attacked by an alligator.
While you're fucking on the golf course.
No, we go to the Axe Trap on fucking Saturdays. Every Saturday.
Pretty much every Saturday.
Yeah. Axe Trap Barbarella. It's going to be
every now and then they're closed, like for private parties and stuff, which I always have to check because I'm not sure.
It's going to cost you $10 to get in.
Yeah, it's $10 cover charge. Yeah. The drinks are kind of pricey. Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
But their
shit's good.
Is real good. Their well drinks, which is like their bottom shelf, is actually mid-shelf stuff. Like El Jimador, fucking tequila, which is good, and you know, I think it was Grey Goose is the fucking vodka that they were using. So, and then like, you know, they have top tier stuff. They got fucking fantastic coffee martinis.
Oh my god, they're so good.
They're like $16 each though.
Yeah, because what happened was a couple weeks back, we know this couple that are there. I can't remember what their names are because we just met them a while back, but they were there and they had coffee martinis.
Yeah.
And they gave Tom a sip of one, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna go get some." And we were kind of plastered. At
it was
this
in
point.
a martini glass.
It's in a martini glass. So he's like, "I'm gonna go get some." So I was like, "Okay, that sounds good."
Yeah.
And he went and got some, and we got like a bunch of them, and he didn't ask the bartender like how much they were.
Yeah, I was rolling, man.
And then like our tab ended up being like $200.
It's almost $200. Yeah. For
and then like,
damn.
So later, like the next week. Like, our favorite bartender, she's just kind of like, "You sure you don't want coffee martinis?" I'm like, "Yeah, we probably should have asked how much they were, like, before we drank so many of them."
But we got two.
Yeah.
It says, "Look, we're just going to have two. Then we're going to go back."
We did have two, like, last week.
Yeah, we had two. And so, because they are good.
And she gave us a shot for free.
And then she started giving us free shots.
Yeah.
So to make up for us buying it, I guess, because she has the power to give free shots.
Yeah.
But
and she's pretty generous with that. She always gives us, like, lemon drops.
Yeah, she's a big, heavy set chick that works there.
She's super sweet. I love her.
Yeah, she's fucking hugging up all us. Like, "How you doing, baby?" She's like,
the first
I love
thing
you guys.
The first thing she asked me when I got in there, she's like, "I don't know if I should ask you this or not." I'm like, oh, I love those kind of questions. And she's just like, "Are your boobs real?" And I was like, "No, not really." And I was just kind of like, and I explained, I was like, "Well, I used to be like a lot heavier, and like, you know, I lost weight and they deflated, and so like I got implants." And she was like,
"They were always big."
Yeah, they were always big.
They were always big. Yeah.
Like they kind of, I went down to a B cup like when I was at my thinnest.
Yeah.
and that was when.
Yeah. They probably went from double D down to B.
Yeah, because I lost like almost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I had them
she got down
refilled.
So it's more like an internal bra.
I had them refilled.
Yeah, that's something that fucking been worried about because that was over like 11 years ago. And by the book, you're supposed to replace those every 10 years.
I thought it was 15 years. But...
No. Well, they say 10 to 15, but even Grok said, no, you're around 10 is when they recommend to start planning. It's not life-threatening, but what happens is usually around 10, there's you start running a risk every additional year of getting a rupture, which means one of them will fucking get a hole in it. And in her case, it's saline, so it's not dangerous.
Yeah.
She'll just absorb it all, but she'll just have one big boob.
Floppy pancake.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, shit, you know what I mean? So it's more embarrassing than anything else. So
I'll just have to like put cramped toilet paper in there or something.
Most girls that have implants want to replace them before that happens. And they tend to upgrade, and get different sizes and shapes and shit depending on what they're doing and if their body's changed over the years. But they didn't give her the biggest that they could have. And she had those put in there.
Installed.
She didn't even take. I installed. They installed.
I like to think of them as being
installed. Them bitches. she was like on pain medication when she came out. I drove her back to my place, put her up because we weren't living together. I don't think at that time, were we?
No, because you were still over at Douglaston at the townhouse.
Right. So I had her I kept you at my place for a few days though. I think one day, right?
Yeah, 1 or 2 days.
She woke up the next morning like nothing had happened. I said, don't you want these pain medicine? No. She went right back to work and was driving.
Yeah, which they tell you not to.
And she soaked that up like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And it's because she already had big boobs, so there was room.
They didn't really have to stretch.
They didn't have to stretch.
Because they have to like pull the fucking skin.
My first wife went from an A cup to like a double D cup in 2 hours. And man, it took her like a week of recovery.
Yeah, because
kept her knocked out for like a week, and just kept giving her pills and feeding her and then getting back up. And she looked great when she was done, but she was just like she said it felt like somebody was just standing on her chest. She felt like she couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Because there's no.
That's what it felt like when I first woke up from the anesthesia.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, yeah. But not like it wasn't horrible. Like I was like, oh my god, I'm dying or anything like that. I was like, wow, that kind of sucks. Like it sounds like it feels like a big fat dude like sitting on my chest or something.
Yeah.
Or an elephant. Yeah. It felt like an elephant stepping on my chest is what I was imagining.
Yeah. Well, she was like that for like 3 or 4 days.
But then, like I said, you put me in the car, you took me back home, you gave me a sandwich. Yeah. I went to sleep. And after I woke up, it was all right.
Yeah, it was like fine.
It was like slightly sore, but it wasn't really that big of a deal.
She went to work. She was like, I can drive. I can go to work.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm all right.
It's like, really? Did you want these pain medicines? Yeah, I don't know. She didn't take a single one of those pain pills.
I think I took one on the day.
On the day? Okay.
And then I didn't take any more.
I remember it as being like none. I was like, damn,
Maybe I took one on the day.
Did it?
I can't remember. But I know I didn't.
On the day that you had it done, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't take any of the other ones. Well, because I was just kind of like... You woke up
and said you didn't need them.
Nah.
Yeah.
It was all right. Like I said, I have a pretty high pain threshold. Now, I will note that the nipple piercing
was worse.
That was way worse. Yeah. That really tried my pain threshold. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna faint.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have done it. But I did a good job. It's just
you did, yeah.
And I did my shit. A friend of mine did it professionally, and after I showed him what I did, he said, "Oh man, because you did a good job. That's nice and deep and laid back in there." Because most people just go through the nipple itself. I went through the areola behind the nipple. Behind it, yeah. But that was like the expert way,
Well, so if you just put it in the nipple part, it's like it'll work its way out eventually.
Yeah, and it looks kind of dumb. That's not how on the end there. I liked it. I always liked the ones that went through the areola. You just see the 2 little balls or the ring or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not hanging from the little nipple. It's hanging from the areola.
Yeah.
It's a deep set. Yeah. But I had the kits and I had all the professional gear to do it. I bought all the stuff, saw some tutorials, and I went, yeah, I could do that. I could do it. I just didn't realize how much pressure it took.
Yeah, you can't just go whoop like you can through your ear. Because I did my own ears, so that wasn't that big a deal. But
I shoot up all the time, fucking test and fucking high performance drugs and shit.
Heroin, just kidding.
Not a heroin.
Just kidding.
Anyway, so it's not like going through muscle, man. Going through that areola is like going through fucking cross between bacon and fucking leather. And it crackles.
And he was like, it's making a noise.
It was cracking and popping as it was going through there.
And I'm just like, yeah, it is. Yeah. It's like, it really feels terrible.
And you got to put a penetrating fucking needle through it. And then you push that needle out with the fucking bar. And then you screw it. And fucking it's... The first time I did it, I had to do it. The second time I did it, I had to do it twice, remember?
Yeah.
The second time?
Man, I was so bummed out.
I went through, and for some reason, I forgot I had to start over and do it again. Do you remember why?
I think you used the wrong gauge, or I don't remember what.
Yeah, that's right. I used the wrong gauge. I used a needle that was too small, and I tried to push it out with the bar because I thought I was like, that first needle might have been too big. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to go down to a smaller gauge needle to push through there. I said, and it went in a lot easier. But then I tried to push that needle out with the bar. It wouldn't go in the hole. She's, and it was like, fuck.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
So then I had to get the next gauge needle up and then push that needle out through the hole using the new needle.
Yeah.
So you're constantly feeding one thing after another to get through there. And the whole time she's and you're kind of getting like empathetic feeling pains. You know what I'm talking about? You're like, oh, like I could feel it. I was fucking sweating. We had to do one nipple, and then we waited about an hour.
Waited like an hour or two. I was just like, I gotta rest.
Yeah. And I think the second one was worse.
It was better in the sense that because the first one, I was sitting up.
Yeah.
And then you first started doing it, and I said, I'm gonna pass out. Like, you have to
And her fucking her mind got associated with that procedure. About a month later, I changed the
rings.
The rings.
He has to do it. I can't really see.
Because she can't really see it, you know. So I changed the ring out, and fucking once I changed them out, it was no big deal. It just seemed easy. Then I fucking walked out of the bathroom. She followed me, and I heard boom. And I turned around, and she was
I fainted.
Fainted on the floor. I was like, "What happened?" She goes, "I don't know."
She's like, "I don't know. I just ended up on the floor somehow."
Yeah, it was because.
Well, and like I said, I
lived that fucking.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I used to have that a lot worse when I was like lighter.
Yeah.
What do they call that? Neurocardiogenic.
Is that what it is?
Syncope. Mm. That's what my doctor told me.
Because for a while she got.
I have super low blood pressure.
Yeah.
And so like, man, if I just like stand up too fast, I'm just like, whoa, like I'm gonna fucking fall over. So you know.
When I first met her, she was a cute chubby girl. She probably weighed close to 200 pounds. Would you say?
I think I was over 200.
Over 200 pounds?
I was probably like 220 or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
I can't really remember, but I think it was maybe more. I'm not sure.
And then, you know, we were hanging out. She was with her husband, and they got divorced, and fucking one day I just turned around and looked, and she only weighed like 110 pounds, 120 pounds. She looked totally different.
Yeah.
And people didn't recognize her. I recognized her because I knew her. But nobody else even recognized her. They thought she was new. And I says, no, that's that girl. Oh, is that heavyset girl? Like, yeah, that's her. She goes, oh, yeah, she looks totally different.
Yeah, I got real skinny for a while.
You got too skinny, actually.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, she looks best at about 130 pounds.
Yeah, that's kind of my ideal weight is about
about
135, something like that. It was before I was working out, though.
Yeah, we're not talking about the muscle mass.
Because I got down to about 118, and I looked kind of sick.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It was just too much of a dramatic change, and you know, you had like loose skin issues and stuff around your stomach and thighs,
which thankfully mostly resolved itself on its own.
Yeah, it tightened up.
It tightened back up because I was afraid it wouldn't.
She's got good genes for that, but because
I thought it was just gonna hang there.
Yeah, but she didn't really have any muscle mass though, too. You know what I mean? But it was okay. when she gained a little bit more weight back, when she was up to about 130, 140, she looked a lot better.
Weirdly, I lost my stretch marks too.
Yeah, they went away.
I didn't think that would happen
They
either.
went away. Yeah, the stretch marks on your thighs, they went away.
And I don't even know if, because when I was heavy and then like I lost weight and I was skinny, but I still had stretch marks like all over my thighs and stuff, like from where I was fatter. And so I was like, man, they'll probably never go away. Like I started putting cocoa butter and shit like that on them because I heard I was like, I don't think that's gonna do anything.
I think it did,
but I don't know if it was that or if it just happened naturally. You know,
they have aided in it,
but they did go away.
I think that Jen weighs close to 160 right now.
Yeah, that's about
But it's muscle, a lot of it. She's built a lot. Her arms look a lot better.
Well, and
nothing hangs. Everything's kind of
tight. My arms
on her.
used to be real floppy.
Yeah, in the back.
Like I used to have floppy.
Yeah, even when she was skinny, they kind of. But no, everything's all kind of tightened up. But she's weight training.
My legs are a lot better.
Yeah, she got fantastic legs.
Like my legs are pretty much like
booty coming in,
all muscle. It's just it's that kind of it's the squat machine.
And and
that
fucking
hip abductor.
Hip abduction machine, yeah.
Abduction machine.
Yeah, she's getting a nice fucking. It'll start popping out, and she's on gear too, a little. She's been on a bunch, and then I've taken her back down a little. But you can't keep her on 300 milligrams of fucking Deca per week. You can't keep a woman at that level for long. You know, a couple months. And it took her down to about 150, 75. They can handle that. And I'll fucking learn from doctors, you know, listening to them and what they've done. And you have to treat the patient. You can't really just do cookie cutter stuff. Jen is kind of what we'd call a weak responder.
I'm a weirdo. I think I'm from another planet.
Yeah, you can give her pain meds. You can give her any kind of medicine, and her body really doesn't respond well.
You can have the flu and sneeze in my face.
Yeah.
And I will probably not get it.
Yeah, she won't get sick, but medicines don't work on her either. And drugs don't really work well on her.
Nothing does anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like really weird.
Yeah.
Like in a way it's good, but in a way it kind of sucky too. But,
yeah.
You know.
You can bang her up with a bunch of steroids and really didn't do much. There wasn't even any bad side effects. She'd even get high blood pressure. There's just, you know, because we check all that.
Because like I said, my blood pressure is naturally super low.
Yeah.
So even if it did go up a little bit, it would just be in the normal range. So.
She just built muscle. You know.
Yeah.
And she was only working out 2 sessions a week, which that's minimum.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
And I mostly do legs. I do some arms too, like I do curls and like some bench press every now and then.
It's just not that much of a priority.
But I usually do legs.
Your arms are good enough. You got nice little shoulders and stuff.
Like I said, they're not floppy anymore. So that was like what I was trying to.
Really, what we got to do is legs and bench pressed, because bench press can work pectoral muscles, and that kind of acts as a lift.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you jump in there while I'm still asleep to do it, and I'm not set up for it. I don't have your fucking.
Well, I always do it on the same day. I always do it Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
So. You need to get in there the night before.
I need to get in there before I go to sleep and get that fucking bench set up so you can just.
Because I like to do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Before
get it out of the way. Yeah.
Get it out of the way because I know I'm gonna be working all day.
Yeah.
So I can't just be like popping out in the middle of the day like to do.
Yeah.
That.
So you know I've talked.
So I like to do it like 7:38 in the morning.
Talked about it on and off in the show. You know, fucking. I'm almost 56, and Jen's about 53.
I'll be 53 in September.
Right. And we're in the upper echelons of fucking of conditioning for our age. And you have a lot of older people that want to look better and feel better. And you can. But I've been through it. I've been in physical training since I was a kid and in the military. Nothing is effective other than weight training. Not really. Even cardio is not really that effective when you... I mean, it's good to have cardio, but it's not very effective.
I do a little bit of it like bike and stuff, but honestly, that doesn't really help that much with...
Doesn't really change how you look.
No. And you have to do a lot of it.
Yeah, and especially as you get older. Your body doesn't respond to that very well. Men beyond the age of 35, your testosterone levels start to decline to a point to where You can get in the gym and lift weights, and you'll just get tired. You'll heal up, but it'll take a lot longer, a week and a half to heal up from it. And your progress will be so slow. And each year you get older and older, and the progress gets slower and slower. You're just kind of wasting your time. If you're after knowing what I know now at 35, I'd have been on testosterone for the rest of my life. You're on that shit forever. Okay. But that's good because, at 35, what? Your lifespan's only another fucking 40 years. I can do anything for 40 years. My lifespan is only 20 years. All right. Fucking 20 years goes by fast.
Nowadays it does.
Yeah, I've been on test for about 6-7 years now. 6 years, I think. All right. They just fucking flew by. And so if you're a dude, you got to be on test. If not, you're just spinning your wheels if you're beyond 35. You'll train and your body will respond. If you want to fucking accelerate faster, fucking test is a gateway to allow you to jump on and off certain kind of anabolic agents, compounds. Women can take tests, but only older postmenopausal women can take a little bit of test, but not that much. There's not really that much is needed. But they can also take certain anabolics, which will help them during training to lose fat, gain muscle, more energy. But you have to be careful. You have to know what you're doing. You can't do this shit just fucking willy-nilly. I studied it for years. And so I know what I'm doing. And, I've had blood work done and fucking... Yeah, you know what? Blood work, that's great. I had that done twice when I was fucking in an HRT clinic, and all it tells you is that, yeah, you're on steroids. I know I'm on steroids. I don't need that fucking blood. Yeah, well, there's certain shit that you want. If you're really pushing it hard, when you're really high doses, yeah, and you want to do it for long periods of time, yeah, you might want to have your blood work checked to see how your body's reacting to it.
Well, yeah, that's always the safe thing.
Yeah, just as, that way.
Because everyone's different. And
yeah, because if there's a problem, you come off. And I'm going to fucking say right here as a disclaimer, I'm not the average example of what happens when you take this shit. I've gone through fucking AI and fucking asking Grok and given all my statistics and everything. I'm actually like in the top 5%. I can take huge doses of steroids and not need any, not even take any aromatase inhibitors. I have no problem with things like gyno, or I don't even get side effects from it. My blood pressure doesn't even go up from it, and most dudes can't do that. Most dudes to do what I do also require a whole bunch of other drugs to counteract the fucking side effects, which you can do. It just costs more money. So really, I could have been a really good pro bodybuilder had I started in my fucking 20s. I could have been real good because you're young enough. But the thing is that you burn up all your fucking gas out of your tank early. And then by the time you're in your 40s or 50s, you're kind of washed up. It's better to not do anything until you're like in your fucking 40s. Because you can put on some good weight and look good, and you only have to live for another 30 years max. Depends, because usually cancer gets you, which has nothing to do with the shit that you're taking. Other shit could get you. So, but I don't know how long I'll live. Some people say that we really should be living to 120. That's what the telomeres say. But very few people live to 120.
I don't have the money for that.
Yeah. Well, it has been noted that once you get to about 80, you just tend to stay about like that. That there's not a big difference between 80 and 100.
Yeah, you kind of get to
a maximum oldness. Where maximum, you don't really, oldness. Maximum oldness, you don't really...
CB says, yeah, Jenny, I bet you feel 30 years old. I don't really feel any different than I did when I was younger. It's kind of... I don't know if that's
She was always the same.
I'm pretty much just always the same. I'm like the most stable motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is.
I think part of it is that we come out of weird subcultures, and we didn't have kids.
I think that helped.
Having children, or I don't have any children that I know of.
that you know of.
That could have.
I would bet money.
Yeah.
That, not a huge amount of money, but I would bet a small amount of money that you have a kid somewhere.
There may be some out there. They wouldn't be in the United States though.
Probably not.
But nobody came looking for me.
True.
But could be that the mama didn't know who the daddy was.
Could have been.
You know, because there was some of that action going on. But no kids, and when you have children and raise children, it kind of, I think it psychologically advances you some. Because it gives you a different mentality. Because you're raising young. And it feels like you've passed the torch on to your replacement generation.
Yeah.
Me and Jen never really had that experience. So we just feel like young people that got old.
Yeah.
We don't really feel like old people. Just young people that
got
up in age.
Yeah, I didn't give like birth to a
We don't feel old. We don't think like I felt old for a while.
Yeah, you did.
And that's why I went on test.
Yeah.
I was like, but I felt like I was going to die.
Yeah, you kept saying that all the
time.
time.
I says, I'm going to die.
I was like, what are you
So
talking
every time
about?
I says, I just feel like I'm going to die.
You were like 48 or something when you said that.
And what it was is I hit androgenopause, which is like male menopause. Testosterone levels started to plummet, and which a lot of dudes go through that, and they just suck it up. They just muscle through it, and they don't realize what's happened to them. And they start putting on a bunch of weight, and they just give up and pick up a bunch of bad habits, start eating and drinking too much, and then they die. And then you give that bitch some test, man, he'd fucking shake that shit right off. He'd come right back. I came right back. I fucking went on test. 8 months later, we went down range, went to and fucking Aurora saw me. She goes, man, look at him. He came right back. Remember that?
Yeah.
She goes, he came right back. She says, you were getting kind of fucked up looking. And she says, you're right back. And I said, yeah, I know. I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So
that's all it was.
So it's not just in your mind. It's hormonal.
Yeah, because yours was like really low when they checked it. They were
they were like,
surprised.
Fuck, your testosterone level is
like,
really low. Because it's also there's a mind body relation too, where if you're not real happy, it'll suppress your testosterone, and when your testosterone gets suppressed, you're not happy, so it suppresses your. So it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, you just get into like
and if you're drinking alcohol, it's suppressed even more. If you're living an unhealthy lifestyle, it's suppressed even more. Sex drive starts to vanish. I had very little interest in sex towards in the final few years of that.
Yeah.
All that shit came back. I'm fucking pervert now.
True.
I'm just fucking pervert.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah, she loves it. Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, what's it? Come on, bro.
And I look amazing, so you know what I mean. It's not the same when you have a fucking fat, pudgy looking pervert and a fucking pervert with a waistline, building a 6-pack, 7-inch dick coming at you in arms. Bitch, I'm gonna tell you. It's different. It's different. You know.
It is, yeah.
It's different. You know. So every now and then on the show, I'll give a little speech. I'll do it to help fucking dudes and women to encourage their men. That once you get to a certain age, man, supplement your testosterone. Don't trust me. Just go down to a testosterone clinic and fucking go get your shit done for $200 a month. They'll hook you up and they'll teach you how to do it. You can be with them for about a year or so until you're comfortable, learn how to fucking shoot up and what feels right for you. Then you can go into the black market and for $200 a month get 4 times the amount of shit. And it's good shit. Yeah, I know all the good stuff. You just got to learn how to use cryptocurrency.
All right, we got
all my shit's black market.
We got like all kind of. I mean, it's technically gray market.
It's gray market because the laboratories that I deal with are real laboratories, and they sell over the counter in other countries where it's legal.
Right.
But in this country, you need prescriptions for all this kind of shit, and each state has slightly different laws.
It's technically not illegal.
It's not illegal, yeah. And I'm in Florida.
You're not supposed to get it without a prescription.
And I'm in Florida. Everything's legal in Florida. They'll give you
if you're sneaky enough.
The thing is that they want you to go through these fucking clinics and fucking bribe these doctors. I already know what I want. I know how to take it. I don't need a doctor. I know what the shit does. I know how to.
I went to a doctor for a while to figure it out.
Yeah, right. So I know what I don't really need them anymore.
Like, and he got it from them for a while, and they did blood work, and there's like, okay, this is how you react and stuff, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do it on my own now.
Yeah, I never had any negative reactions towards any of that, and not all guys are like that. Some dudes have shit genetics. you give him anything, he has a fucking really bad reaction to it. And just, he wasn't bred for a long life and to have any kind of fucking response to hormones. And, you know, bad luck of the draw. But there are some dudes that just can't take anything. They inject the shit and they get sick.
Yeah. It happens. Well, like I said, everyone's different.
Everyone's different, yeah.
So, some people are really unlucky.
Yeah, I take the shit and I just thrive on it. As long as I'm taking it sensibly. With the exception of Tren. Trenbolone, I'm a fucking maniac on Tren. I'm the devil on Tren. And most dudes are. Most dudes are. Yeah, don't take Tren.
Yeah. This is our daily
That's my warning.
affirmation.
My daily warning. Do not fuck with Tren. Trenbolone is fucking not meant
well,
for
no, like the more that we say it, the more people are going to be like, well, now I want to take it.
No. It doesn't.
Seriously, though, don't.
It doesn't yield any results.
Yeah, it's not even like
that safer shit will do. Right, yeah.
It's not even like worth all the fucking heartache.
It just has fucking tremendous fucking emotional and mental side effects that some dudes like, and I kind of liked it, but it was, somebody will eventually shoot you, or you'll end up in prison, okay?
Or your wife will leave you.
Yeah, you become a werewolf, all right? So, but you know, the physical gains that you get from it, it's just NPP or nandrolone. You know, it is a form of nandrolone. It's just a different ester of it. Okay, but the other shit does it about the same. I really like NPP. It's dry, smooth. You don't hold a lot of water, and I think I get about the same out of fucking test and NPP than I would test and Tren. But Tren will turn you into the Goblin from Spider-Man.
Exactly. Like I said, you're having a good time, but no one else around you.
Yeah, you love it. You're just a fucking psychopathic, fucking weird, fucking semi-gay serial killer. Kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, you were saying like serial killer shit.
Yeah.
Like crazy supervillain shit.
I'm gonna eat him.
And like, seriously, I thought you were joking, and I'm like...
Yeah.
What?
Why is he here? Why is he here? I'm gonna cut his head off. And then I'm gonna eat him.
Yeah, it was like that, and like and you think it's totally normal.
You think it's totally normal,
and I'm sitting there going,
yeah. I've done powerful drugs before, LSD and all kinds. LSD is powerful. You can respect it. Tren is worse. Tren is more powerful than LSD. LSD, you know, you're hallucinating. You're having fun. On
yeah,
Tren,
you're lucid at least.
In Tren, it's all emotion, and you think it's normal. And you're fucking crazy as shit.
Is that people can tell you, it's like, hey, bro, you're acting kind of like a psycho. And, like, they don't believe you.
Yeah, I'll be in traffic, and I'm like, and I see a dude next to me on the phone laughing, and I go, he's fucking laughing at me. And you fucking try to get out of the car. What are you laughing at?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think you're talking about you and shit. It's weird. You're really paranoid.
You were going to kill, like, one of our neighbors, like, at the old house.
Yeah. Weird shit.
That was partially blocking the drive, which he wasn't, because we got out. Yeah. But, like,
you're right.
I'm going to cut that dude's head off. I'm like, let's not.
Oh, yeah, weird shit.
Let's not do
that. I'm going to the restroom, and I'll come make us some drinks when I get back. Oh, we got a super chat.
Bee's Nest said, I watched a good documentary on Netflix about a woman on roids that murdered her husband.
Yeah, we've seen that one.
Yeah. I think we did.
That's the Marine Corps chick.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Papa77. Send us a super chat. And I'm getting, like, way behind. Here's some cash to change the subject. Any subject will do. I think we've beaten the horse well today. I wonder what a serial killer would be like on that stuff. Well, like I said, I kind of wish somebody would do some research into maybe there might be some, like, weird chemical imbalance, like, in their head that's making them, like, produce that. Naturally, I'm not really sure. Because, like I said, when he was on it, it was, like, serial killer shit. Serial killer shit. Hydo said, I feel like I aged without aging. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. It's weird being at this stage, I guess. I never really thought... I don't know. It was just never really anything that really was kind of forward in my life, I guess. It's like, oh, I'm getting old or something like that. Like, I know some people, like, really kind of fixate on it, but I never really worried about it all that much. You know? But I guess a lot of people do, because I get a lot of... Like, I would work with people that were, you know, my age. And, you know, they're kind of boring. You know, not Karens, but you know what I mean. Just kind of just boring, like, normal people. And they would talk to me, like, because I still look kind of, I still looked kind of alternative or whatever the fuck you want to say, like, at jobs that I had. And, like, so I would have people that were the same age as me. They'd be like, oh, I used to look like that too, but, I had to stop doing that because of work and stuff like that. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I legit never, I didn't look that weird, but it's like, I never had trouble getting jobs, like, even in the 80s and 90s with tattoos and weird hair and shit like that. Like, I guess because I work in, like, a slightly, like, a more creative field because I'm a graphic designer. So it's like I never really had that many people. And the thing about it is, like, if I went to an interview and the place was, like, super corporate, and I was kind of glad that I didn't get it because I was like, well, I wouldn't fit in. You know what I mean? But I really never had trouble getting jobs. So it's like you don't really have to. I know back in the day, like, the boomers would always tell you, our parents' generation would always say, my parents never said this, but they'd be like, oh, well, you can't get a job with that color hair. You can't get a job with tattoos. You can't do this and that. I was like, I never had an issue, like, even back in the day. I know some people did, and it was a lot worse back then, but I never had any trouble. So you don't have to. If you want to still look like that, you can. Like, so I don't really get, because I get that a lot, like, from older women, usually, that are, like, my age or slightly older. It's like, yeah, I used to do all that, and it's like, man, I wish I could still do that. I'm like, you can? I'm like, I still do that. Like, a lot of people our age still do that. Like, we see them every weekend. Like, they're still going out partying and stuff like that. But, you don't have to be boring. You can do. No one's stopping you. I don't really understand, like, why they're, like, lamenting it. I don't know. I seem to get that a lot from older women.
What's that?
That they always kind of say stuff like that they used to, like, look kind of alternative, or they used to do this and that and the other, but it's like they didn't do it anymore because, it's like, I got married, I had kids, I had a job, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, yeah, but you can still do that because we know people.
Yeah.
They all have jobs. Most of them have kids.
Yeah.
Most of them are married or were married. Like, but they didn't go normal. They just stayed the way they were.
So was Papa asking me a question about what would a serial killer be like on that stuff?
Yeah. Although he said he was giving us money to change the subject to any subject.
What's that?
To change the subject.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You can pay us to change the subject. We'll do that shit all night long. Now, what would he be like? What would a serial killer be like on that shit? More active. His sex drive would be... BTK, his sex drive would have been through the fucking roof.
I got a pee too. Now that I'm thinking about it.
His aggression would have gone up a lot. He would have killed more people. He would have thought he was godlike, too. And he already thought he was a fucking minotaur. So you're already dealing with a dude that's fucked up. This goes back to what I was saying. I said this before on other shows. I'd like to get blood samples from these guys and look at the testosterone molecules that they're fucking making and have those fucking closely analyzed and see under a microscope exactly what they look like. Because tren is 19-nortestosterone. It's a testosterone derivative. And the difference between tren, fucking decadurabolin and durabolin, or MPP and deca, they're all 19-nortestosterones. And 19-nortestosterone looks a lot like testosterone. So it's odd that something like trenbolone would have such a dramatic impact on the human mind when they actually chemically are super, super similar. When trenbolone was first being developed, this is like, I think it was back in the 60s, it was for human consumption. It was just an improved version of fucking MPP or deca. It was just a different ester of the same thing. And they put it out into the market, and then they quickly pulled it on their own. And they said, because the mental side effects. And then it ended up going into the veterinary use, though, where they were giving it to cattle. Because it's cheap, easy to make. And then through the cattle industry, it would make it back into the fucking bodybuilding world, where you could get your hand on a shit ton of the stuff through farms and it didn't cost anything. other than fucking your life up, fucking losing all the relationships with your girlfriends, and fucking you jumping out of a moving car to fight the cops. You know, they'll do shit like that to you.
And getting shot.
Yeah, a lot of the superhero stories, you know, fucking about supervillains and shit with the Goblin, fucking probably like some of the more modern versions of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, fucking on Farscape with the dudes with the gauntlets, fucking with the fucking performance drugs in there.
Yeah, when we saw that episode, I was like, oh,
Trent.
Somebody knew
They're
about
talking about
that.
Trent, yeah.
Because everything they were talking about, I was just like,
Yeah.
that sounds exactly.
Because Trent's been around for a long time. A lot of the stuff we hear about roid rage and the shit that steroids does to you. No, they're talking about Trent. They're talking about one particular steroid. That motherfucker's bad. Yeah, evil. The rest of them are just, no, easy. There's no mental side effects. There's no roid rage or anything. Now, when you first get involved in test, it takes a while to adapt to it, especially if you haven't had it. You're older. You know, it's like, whoa, it's like you're going through puberty again. But then once your body gets the hang of it again, you can take high levels of test, and you won't get violent. You'll become more dominant. I guess you could say you'll hold your ground. You're more confident. But that's a lot of factors. You know, you're getting stronger. You're bigger. You know, so, but that's nothing compared to Trent. You know, all those fucking roid rage stories and shit. There's Trent, and that one was not approved for human use.
John Allen says, increased sex drive. And then CB said,
all of them.
I still have the sex drive I had when I was 13. Yeah, I've always had like a high one, and it doesn't seem that affected. Like maybe slightly.
Well, sex drive is not just testosterone. Sometimes estrogen levels and progesterone can do that too. And everybody's a little bit different. For me, when my testosterone levels were low, you have a sex drive, but you don't have enough ambition and drive to do anything about it.
Yeah, you're just like...
You become,
whatever.
Yeah. Right. But really, when it comes to like satisfaction, I guess you could say orgasmic type of shit, estrogen. Yeah, estrogen.
Which is weird. I've heard...
Not testosterone. Estrogen's like that.
A lot of women have reported, and apparently this is fairly common, that they get super horny before or on their periods.
Yeah.
I never had that it's because I don't have it anymore because I'm postmenopausal. But when I used to have my period, man, I just felt like crap, and that was like the last thing that I wanted to do.
It affects everybody different. Everybody's
but
production
I was just like, look, I swelled up like a whale.
Yeah.
You know, I have like all these like stomach problems. Like I have a headache. I have like horrible cramps, and it's just like I can't even stand upright. Yeah. It's like no thanks. But some people get really, really into it. So
testosterone's more about drive and ambition, aggression, and aggression. It has in Western fucking culture right now that has a negative connotation, and it's mostly because the intellectual class in the Western world are a bunch of pussies. All right, aggression is what makes men get good jobs and make money and fucking do things for themselves and fucking try to make growth. You know, to grow their businesses. That's what aggression's about. It's not about punching somebody in the face. Even though if it gets down to that, it can. But that's not what aggression means. When my testosterone levels are really high, I'll be sexually aggressive. But what's weird is that in general, the test of that shit, I'll just fucking. I'll never reach any kind of climax.
Yeah.
Because the testosterone levels are just too high. Yeah. Now, my estrogen and the proportion of testosterone to estrogen in my system is very testosterone heavy. So I never feel the satisfaction of it. You have fun, but you never have. Now, if you're on some of the other stuff that is more estrogenic, your estrogen levels will go up along with, like Dianabol. Your estrogen levels will go up, and it's not normal estrogen. It's a different form of estrogen. That'll go up, and then your testosterone will go up, and you'll be sexually aggressive, and you'll just think you're the fucking sexiest motherfucker to the earth. You just orgasmic, and then you come right back, and you just fucking walk around slinky. Yeah, baby. You know, you just look, you're like that. The problem with Dianabol is that you retain a lot of water, and your face looks like a fucking pie plate. You don't look good on this shit. Especially when you feel sexy. When you feel sexy, that means your head is the fucking size of a watermelon.
Yeah.
I got a picture of myself on my driver's license. I was fucking de-balled out. And I don't even look like me in my driver's license photo. Just my head is just a round ball. So there's a trade-off to everything.
Papa77 said, I guess I need to pay more than $10 to change the subject. Yeah, I guess so.
I answer your question, bitch.
Let's see. Oh, Camp Guy said, I think a woman is most fertile about halfway between periods. Yeah, when she's ovulating, usually. But like I said, for some reason, it's quite common. I never experienced this, but it's quite common for women to get super, super horny, like on their periods. I don't know why. Like I said, I never did, because I was always like, nope, I feel like shit, no thanks. But, yeah.
I always noticed that they got horny when they were ovulating. That's when all my lesbian friends wanted to fuck.
I mean, I want to fuck all the time, so it's like I never really, like I said, it never really, I never really associated it with any particular time period, other than, like I said, when I was on my period, I was like, nah, I feel like crap, so I don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, I never really, other than that, I just usually wanted to fuck all the time. Like, at about the same level. But that's kind of another thing. That's me. I'm just, like, kind of just a stable kind of thing, like, all the time. I don't have these big, wild mood swings or big, wild anything. DVD Dragon says, Tom the Liver King got arrested for making threats against Joe Rogan. He got exposed years ago for taking $11K a month of steroids, pretending to be natty.
Yeah.
Was this a trend episode?
Could be. Could be. But I don't know if I believe that $11,000 a month in steroids. No. It can't be. That'll give you, you can buy enough steroids to fucking just kill yourself. It doesn't cost that much. So I think that's an interpolation. Or not, what am I going to say? That's a corruption of the fuck. Probably what they're talking about is he was probably taking maybe 11,000 milligrams or something. That's a lot. Or maybe 1,100 milligrams. They're exaggerating. He couldn't have been taking that much. Maybe he bought that much in a month, but he didn't take that much in a month. He might have bought a 6-month supply.
You would probably die.
Yeah.
If you took that much.
Liver King was a fake natty, and most of the fucking natties are fake. This is another thing that I want to fucking tell you people. These fucking natties, I've even talked to some of these natties that have channels. And as soon as you bring up the fact that, dude, but you have signs of androgen use in you. You're 35 and your body mass and your fat index is too lean, man. You're not natty. They block you, or they silence you because you can't block anymore. Everybody knows if you look unusually good, you're on something. If you stand out, you're on something. Just how it is. Especially if you're beyond the age of 30. But if you're in your 20s and you're just fucking stacked and shit, and this dude's fucking 5% body fat, you know what I mean? Fucking, come on. Come on. No, he's on gear. Yeah.
Papa77 said, I always found they get horny in the last month of pregnancy. I've heard that also. I've heard that in the last few months of pregnancy, women get super horny too. And it's like, you can still have sex. I think that, like, I was reading a thread a while back about, because I guess some dudes are either scared or grossed out by having sex with their pregnant wives. Because I don't know if they think it's going to hurt the baby or something. The baby will be fine. It's like, your dick's not that big, okay? It's like, just calm down. Yeah. But yeah, it's... I've heard that too, that like pregnant women get super, super horny. I don't have experience with that either. Like I said, I've never experienced the period horniness thing. I know it's a thing because I've had friends tell me that, and apparently it's pretty common. I never had that, but I don't know why that happens, but who knows? Like I said, that was the last thing on my mind because I was like, I feel gross. Glad I don't have to deal with that crap anymore. Holy shit, that sucked. From when I was 12 years old to when I was... When did I go through menopause? 40... What was I, 50? 51?
You're about 50.
I think I was about 50.
Late 40s, 50.
Which I think was about the same time my mom did. She was about 40 or 50. But I was like, God...
I wish I could get hold of estrogen and progesterone. I'd give you some every now and then. It's very good for older women to every now and then get some estrogen and progesterone. She gets progesteronic fucking nandrolone, which there's some satisfaction in the fucking cells for that. But I'd like to get some hands on. But my network doesn't carry the female hormones.
Yeah, they don't care.
They
don't care about us ladies.
Well, they responded back. I said, I would like to, do you have progesterone and an estrogen or estradiol? Maybe that, my wife could use some HRT. And they go, yeah, we are thinking about doing it. It's just that there's not much profit in that.
So there's not much demand.
There's not much demand, yeah.
Because I guess women don't usually fuck with it.
Yeah, women aren't fucking with it.
Or they're just getting it from other sources.
Yeah.
They're not usually
Who's fucking with it?
They're not usually so head up that they're going to get it from like gray market sources.
Who's fucking with estrogen and fucking progesterone is dudes. Trans to, male to female transsexual, they're using it. Quite a bit. That's the main customer.
But like I said, that's a very tiny percentage of the population.
Not enough of them.
So there's
right.
not enough,
there's not enough
for it to be profitable.
Right, yeah, it's not profitable.
Because like I said, women wouldn't really buy it, I would feel like, mostly.
Most women that do hormones and do all this gear and shit like that are with bodybuilder and gym bro husbands or boyfriends, and who are also kind of like their trainers. It's very common. And that goes into the fighting world, like those bare knuckle girls. I was watching bare knuckle fighting between females and shit. It was fucking brutal, man. And all their husbands are their trainers, and they're boxers too. But they like it. They're getting in their faces all swelled up, fucking missing teeth and shit. But they're crazy. Some people are just thrill seekers. It's weird. I was watching those fights, and those girls have beat the shit out of each other. Even they're tired as fucking afterwards. As soon as their fucking a judgment is ruled of who won, then the girls are all loving on each other. I love you. You did so good. And it's very different from the dudes. But it's just it's almost kind of like they were fucking.
We're a little bit different.
Yeah. Because they went through it together type of deal.
Yeah.
I love you. It's just weird.
Well, and it's funny because I kind of feel like largely, and this is a generalization obviously because everyone's different, but it's like dudes always like talk about women being catty bitches and all this other kind of stuff. In my experience, dudes are way cattier and way bitchier than women are.
At certain levels.
Way bitchier.
Yeah.
Women tend to support one another.
Yeah.
So, well, it depends. Yeah. It depends on the dynamic. But in my experience, I haven't really experienced much of cattiness or anything like that. Maybe it was just the women I hung out with, I guess. But
in a military setting, guys are coming up and they're just fucking with each other like crazy. But they fight like married couples. And they fucking undermine one another. But dudes don't take it seriously. It's like it's part of the game. You know what I mean? They don't really get mad about it, even though they're fucking undermining one another. It's just kind of a weird thing. And, that's inside of conventional armies, when I was in the 101st, in the infantry units there. Dudes were like that. Fucking Korea was even worse. But we all fucking were like bros. Just that we fucked each other over, but that was like in the rules. But we'd also catch bullets for each other. So it doesn't matter. It's a different world. It's kind of like being mean and cruel is a form of affection.
Yeah, I've heard that. I can't speak to that too much. It's like, where I...
Because we didn't take it seriously.
In my family dynamic, our whole language, with me and my siblings and stuff, was sarcasm.
Yeah.
So it's like, so sometimes when I'm talking... I forget that people, I'll say something, offhand, and, they'll just take it too seriously. I'm no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But it's just, so I get that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't normally, say, mean shit to somebody's face, though. I don't usually say mean shit behind people's backs, either, because I think that's shitty.
Okay, it's just like Scientology.
Now, I will if they did that to me first.
In Scientology...
then they're fair game.
In Scientology, they fucking insult each other and just try to pick on each other's weaknesses. And if you react to it, you're weak. If you don't react to it, then they're making you stronger. They got that. L. Ron Hubbard got that from the Navy.
Or they're just draining out all of your emotions.
Yeah, they're draining you don't have any emotional responses to anything.
So they're making you a sociopath.
Basically. All right. But that makes you combat effective, though.
I know.
So that's what they're doing.
They're just making it.
It's a different things that don't work in the civilian world work in the military world because you're killing people for a living and you're dying for a living. But And it's an honor-based society. And it's the best example for a civilian to ever understand why a real militaries work the way they work. They don't really work that way now, because we don't have a real military. Is to watch Fight Club. That's what it's like. It's like that. It's a warrior cult. It's a cult. Yeah. And they're going to fuck with you because that's what's making you stronger. But L. Ron Hubbard got that because he was a naval officer. That's why Scientology is kind of does crazy shit like that. It's stupid. They're doing it in a fucking make a motherfucker a wizard cult, you know. If you give me enough money, I'll make you a wizard.
They take it so seriously. That's Jedi. So funny to me.
Yeah.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Because like I said, and I've said this on the show many times before, I used to work for a company that was owned by them because I lived in Clearwater for a little while. And it wasn't a Scientology org or anything like that. It was just unrelated. It was like a printing advertising company or something. But it was owned by Scientologists, and a lot of people that worked there were Scientologists. And the fact that they took all of this so seriously was just like really amusing to me.
Yeah, it's stupid to do that
because I was like, you guys are really dumb.
It's stupid. To me, it's kind of stupid and useless to do that in a religious cult.
It is stupid.
That is basically a bunch of people paying to become a wizard. All right.
I mean, yeah, that's essentially what you're doing.
It makes more sense in a military unit of professional soldiers or gladiators, basically. Guys that fight and kill other people for a job.
Where that's like your job.
That's your job. You're right.
Like, I can see that. You
gotta be maximum fucking bad.
I could see that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But like, you're just being a Scientologist.
You're just being a Scientologist. So why are you... You don't need that level of fucking...
What's your end goal, really?
Yeah, you don't need that level of performance.
Clearing the planet. Making everyone a Scientologist. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good fucking luck with that.
Yeah.
You just wait for Xenu to come back with the volcanoes or whatever the fuck.
Right. Now that what I just described to y'all...
Or whatever the fuck.
Fucking that's conventional combat... fucking combat arms units were like that. And they were like that for centuries, going back to the Roman era. All right. Special Forces isn't quite like that. It's a little more flexible. And it's a little more Snake Plissken. You know what I mean? It's fucking... Because what they're doing is depending on what kind of unit it is, they're either doing something kind of like training rebels, or they're global level SWAT team, so they're kind of like the world cops, or some of them are basically kind of like they end up in the CIA as being assassins, which is, Snake Plissken. They're criminals. You have to be very flexible and don't ask any questions, and you're going to be working with fucking questionable people, and you're just trying to get shit done by any means necessary. And that's just all part of the game. But so there's differences in style. Depends on where you end up in the system.
Camp Guy says, we had sex all the way up to the birth of our kids. They told us that having sex would help bring on labor. Yeah, I kind of feel like most doctors, good ones nowadays, actually do know, because I think for a long time there was a myth that, you can't have sex when they're pregnant. It's like it'll hurt the baby or something like that. And I think some dudes still have that weird misconception. But no, it's fine. It's good for you. Like, just don't abstain. You know what I mean? I can see how maybe a lot of women probably don't want to do it much after. Because, one, they'll be tired. Their body is all jacked up. They've probably been cut open. So it's probably not great. But, up to, and it's fine. It's fine. Most of the time, like I said, unless you have some problems or something like that. But I think that that's probably better. Like I said, I've never, I'm going to say, I have been pregnant, but I've never gone the whole distance is what I'm going to say. Never gone the whole distance. So it's like, so I can't really speak to it that much because I didn't get that far into it. Let's see. Klaus says, Snake Plissken is my god. He's legendary. Yeah, I mean, that's a great fucking character. And he asked if he's been blocked or something. No, it's just that the thing about it is that sometimes, like, I see you guys' comments because I'm, like, kind of watching them, but sometimes, like, Tom is talking and I don't really want to interrupt. So I'm always kind of like, I'll get to, like, your comment when he stops talking. You know what I mean? So I can get to it. But no, you haven't been blocked. Nobody's blocked on this channel. I don't know why some people come on and they say a few things, and if nobody answers them immediately, they're always just kind of like, am I blocked? Nobody is blocked on this channel.
What, somebody think that there's blocked?
No, nobody's blocked.
Okay. Somebody asking that they're blocked?
Yeah, nobody is blocked. As far as I know, I didn't block anybody. You have access to the channel too. I don't think you blocked anybody.
Yeah. We have moderators. If you say crazy shit, you'll be vanished, but you won't be blocked.
Yeah, nobody gets blocked. Like I said, but we don't have that much trouble. We used to have every now and then we'd have like some drive-by that would come in and like start saying weird shit or whatever, but it's like, and then they would just get silenced. You don't usually get blocked. It's like they can still comment. It's just that nobody can see it, which I think is better.
Yeah.
Because then I can imagine that their little goblin ass is like still at their little computer and they're just like, I'm so edgy and I'm typing all this and it's like nobody can even see it and they're just like typing into the fucking void. That's like way funnier.
CB's asked me if I like Power Slap. I've seen little clips of it. It looks kind of interesting. Where you just have to stand there and let a motherfucker just slap you in the face. So
I've heard of that.
Your physical fucking conditioning doesn't mean anything. It's just how much you can slap a dude and how much pain you can take. It's an interesting concept, but I haven't watched it. I just saw the clips of it. It looked good. It looked good. But I don't know if I'd sit through a bunch of it. A lot of that shit I'll fast forward it through it.
Yeah, I can't sit there and watch that kind of stuff.
What I was watching recently was the female bare knuckle fighting, and I was just marveling of the fact that they got girls that in their 40s are going out there without any fucking gloves, just beating the fuck out of each other. But I also think it's funny is that after a few rounds they're fucking tired, they're moving real slow. It's just like doesn't look like they're hitting with any force because they only weigh 100 pounds, a lot of them. But that one girl was still able to knock that other girl's front teeth out. And the blow that did it looked real weak. You know? It was just kind of weird. Stronger than she looked, or the tooth was weaker than it looked. And it was a American girl knocked a British girl's tooth out. I'll call them girls, they're women. But the...
yeah, don't be that way.
Yeah, it's a girl. Well, everybody's a girl, you know what I mean? They were cute enough to be called girls. They were cute. Even though the American one, she was definitely from the South, real fucking strong, and she looked like a little crackhead. You know, it looked like somebody you'd see down at fucking the Oasis or something. You know, weighed 100 pounds, and she ended up winning. No, in that particular one, she lost. She lost in that one, but she's fighting that British girl. The British girl fucking lost in the other fight. That's the one that lost the tooth. So I watched 2 of her fights. I forgot what her name was. And every time the fucking fight's over, their heads are just swelled up, fucking eyes fucking swelled shut. You're like, man, you look fucked up. But then they'll do an interview and they just sound normal. Oh yeah, it was a great fight, you know. Like, damn, you look beat up. And then and I was just checking. I says, what do they look like once they heal back up? And they're doing interviews like a month or 2 later, and they look totally normal. They're just back to, you know, it all goes back. But you'd think they'd be all scarred up from it, but no, it goes back.
Well, no, because that doesn't usually happen with dudes that do that. So it's like, I mean,
bare knuckle fighting isn't like a
to an extent.
Yeah,
but
because even in MMA, it's not really bare knuckle. I think they have little fucking pads and shit. But these guys just had stuff wrapped around their knuckles that looked like fucking cloth. I watched some of the dudes fight. It was pretty good. And what's weird is that you're like, in the 90s, that shit would have been considered totally fucking unacceptable. They would say, oh no, we're going to take that off. That's not legal, you know? But you look at it and you go, like, when you look back in history and you say, well, pugilists back in fucking ancient Rome, not only was it bare knuckled, but they would also like wrap leather around their knuckles, and then they'd have studs in the leather to do a little bit more damage. That's pretty wild too.
Because they did not give a fuck.
Yeah, they were like a former gladiator. So it's gone back to that. You're basically dealing with gladiators now.
Which, like I said, everyone's an adult.
Yeah,
they know what they're
it.
getting into. They volunteered for it. As long as no one's being forced to do it, I don't really have an issue.
I think the Roman pugilists, though, were...
I don't necessarily want to watch it because it's boring, but, like, you know.
I think the Roman pugilists were slaves, though. I think they were slaves.
That's what I'm saying. They probably got forced into it, yeah.
Yeah. But they were also famous and being paid, and fucking the women were throwing themselves at them. So, and they evidently would earn their freedom and then go back and do it anyway. They liked it. You know, I guess that's you get chosen for that. You rise out of the quagmire because you're good and you like it.
Yeah, I mean it's probably better than being a slave. I mean,
yeah, well they were slaves, but they got out of it.
Like that's what I mean.
Yeah, that was weird.
To move up.
Yeah, those dudes would fucking be gladiators of all different kinds, and they're convicts and slaves. And then they're being pimped out to the hottest, most noble fucking Roman aristocratic women. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bring them on. You know, that was kind of like their reward. They give them extra food and shit. Hang out with that. And it was pretty fucking bizarre, but they had star power. So evidently, fucking wealthy Roman upper class women would pay to meet them, which meant going to their prison cell basically and getting laid.
Because they like the bad boys.
Yeah, they were super fans. Oh, there's statues of one of them called the Pugilist. You look at it, the motherfucker was just stacked, shredded. You look at his face was all fucked up though. But maybe they had a thing for that back then. And maybe his character came through. You know, maybe they liked who he was.
Some people might like that now.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Somebody that looks a little beat up or something.
Oh, he was fucking super beat up. Like, we find that? When we find that statue?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I know what talking.
You know the statue I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. So I wanted to, before we forget about it, I wrote this down because of some funny shit that happened earlier. You know what I'm going to say, right?
What?
About the sock.
About the sock? Yeah. Okay. You
like,
want to tell a story?
We got to bring this up.
All right.
So, was it...
last night.
You did laundry last night.
Did laundry last night. Fucking then a sock fell out. One of Jen's sock fell out and it landed on the fucking...
On the stairs.
On the stairs down here. At the bottom of the stairs.
And we didn't know it was there.
Yeah. I knew it was there, but I was like, I'll get that shit later.
Whatever.
Yeah. So, I wake up this morning and see that sock laying at the bottom of the fucking stairs.
The sock, yeah.
The sock. And around it was like 6 or 7 cat toys all around it. And I'm like, what the fuck happened here? And what happened was the cats were getting the little mice, the little toy mice, and the little fucking minty toys.
Yeah.
So they had all the mint in it. And they were bringing it to the sock and leaving it
there.
They
were making offerings.
Like an offering to Jen's sock. Offering
it was
to
like
the
a
sock.
circle.
Yeah. Well, it was not really a circle. It was kind of like a line reaching to it. It was kind of around it. It was kind of like a fucking tadpole shape. With the sock at the front.
They were offering their toys.
Giving the toys to the sock. I don't understand it. It's only
our
the
cats
cat.
Our cats are weird.
Only the cat mind can comprehend.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh so much that it's like I know that they're moving the cat toys around at night because they're always in a different spot. When I get up in the morning, there's like mousies in my bathroom suddenly, and now they're like in this hallway and stuff and all that other stuff. But it's like every now and then like I'll catch them.
Yeah.
Like run around with one in their mouth and there's like, oh shit, like we got busted. But that's like so funny to me that they're like, we need to put up some like night vision cameras or something.
Yeah.
Because like when he told me about that, he's like, oh my god, you have to come see this.
You gotta see the sock.
It's like they made cat toy offerings to the sock.
Yeah.
There's a little
Yeah,
fucking partial ring of cat toys around the sock on the staircase.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Our cats are weird, like I said. Yeah, 577 said all hail Jenny Socks. Yeah, it's so strange. I don't know what's going through their little heads, you know, really. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just,
Zach and Klaus are going on.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Made y'all a friend.
I see that. See? We're facilitating.
Yeah.
We're facilitating friendships.
Yeah.
CB says the cats are planning your sacrifice. Tom and Jenny must strike first.
Yeah.
I would hope not. I think they know better because they're like
more ice in that.
Yeah, because if they sacrificed us, they wouldn't get any more meat sticks or temptations, and they would probably hate that because that's like their favorite thing. Well, that's Pookie's favorite thing. Meat sticks and temptations. Bambi's favorite thing is plopping and having her belly rubbed. That's her favorite thing. She doesn't really give a crap about... We tried to give her one of Pookie's meat sticks. Pookie was very offended, by the way. Because I just get them in these big boxes, you know? The boxes aren't cheap. It's like $20 for like one box. I don't remember having these in there, but it's not a huge amount. And so we tried to give one to Bambi one time. They're tuna flavored, you know? And they stink like tuna, which usually Bambi likes because she likes fishy kind of food because I give her salmon and stuff all the time. But she just looked at us like, the fuck is that? That's not food. She wouldn't eat it. I don't know. Weird. Picky. But the thing about it is that Bambi is the cat we've had the least amount of time. Like, we just got her... I guess it was almost 2 years ago, because I think we got her in August. Was it August of 2023? Something like that. Or August of 2024. Now I can't remember. But we've had her the least amount of time. And for a long time, she was afraid of Tom. So like I said, I don't really know if there was some issue with a man where she used to live. Because we got her from... Well, we got her from PetSmart, but she had come from a shelter, like, that day, like, in Tampa. And they said she was 18 months old, she'd already had a litter, and her family had surrendered her for whatever reason, probably because she had babies. But, I mean, she seemed pretty chill, like, from the outset, but she just, like, glommed onto me, like, from the first instant. She just follows me around everywhere. But she seemed a little leery of Tom, but... She's kind of chilled out at this point. Like, even Tom said to her today, he's like, you seem like you're my kitty now. Like, you know what I mean? Because for a long time, she was just like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this dude. You know what I mean? Because it's completely different. Because Pookie is a total, complete daddy's girl. She just, like, she'll sit on his chest and all this other kind of stuff.
I wake up in the middle of the night, she's right there with her face right
yes.
there. Like, what are you doing?
She's like, I'm on the daddy boat.
Yeah. Come on. No, she'll make me mad though. Because she'll step and walk all over me. And
she does walk.
Stop it. She said, and then like 5 minutes later, she'll come back and step all on me again. Like it was no big deal.
She's heavy.
Yeah, she's fat. She's fat and she's heavy.
And she likes to walk all over people when they're sleeping. I guess she thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
She'll like step on his nuts too, which I thought was funny. Oh my goodness. TV says Jenny cats don't like people all in black. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
we never had that issue.
No, cats don't care what you're wearing.
But I don't know. I just like that Bambi finally came around to liking you.
We got Klaus in there. He mentioned Snake Plissken. He knew who Snake Plissken was.
Yeah.
How old are you, Klaus? He must be my age. You know who Snake Plissken is.
I mean, not necessarily. The movie's still out there, and
people
can still watch it. So
yeah,
that's all. Man, why'd you turn the fan on? Now I'm freezing.
Trying to get you all nipped up. Look better on camera. Y'all
You're trying to nip it up.
Yeah. No, it's starting to get hot.
Must be the drink.
It's that male metabolism, man.
Oh.
Yeah, aren't you getting hot?
No, I'm freezing.
You got a wig on and everything.
I know, but
it's fucking burning up.
No, I'm not.
Jen's trying to grow her hair out.
It's always cold in here. Yeah, it's like I was talking about that today because
it's fucking hot, man. It was 90 degrees today. Not cold.
I know, but it's not. No, it's cold in here.
It's not cold in here.
In this room, it's cold.
72 maybe.
It was cold in this room all day. I had to put my little jacket on.
All right.
You know. Yeah, my actual hair. It's getting there. It's like 3 different lengths at this point. I got like the regular hair, the under shave, which is kind of like this long, and then the bangs, which are like this long. So I still can't. I mean, I guess I could, but it doesn't look that good. A couple weeks ago, I was like, man, I don't really want to wear a wig, and I'm just gonna like do my natural hair. So I try to do something with it, like I try to tease it and stuff, but I just can't get it to look good. So it's like, so I usually just slap a wig over it until it's all grown out. I'm trying to get it all one length. Like I'm trying to get some Morticia action going, but that's gonna take a while.
Yeah. A couple more months, 3-4 months.
Okay, so Klaus said he was born in 72, so he's the same age as me.
Yeah,
because I was also
he's a few years younger than me. I was born in 69.
I was also born in 1972.
Yeah. So he didn't he say something? He said something about, do you remember the Cadillac with the chandeliers on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the fucking. There's the Duke's car, man. The Duke's fucking limousine. That's a great fucking flick, and I didn't like Escape from L.A. as much when it came out. I was disappointed, but over the years, I kind of warmed up to it.
I still kind of don't like it though.
It's kind of a goofy parody of the first one, and Kurt Russell had a lot to do with that script. They didn't really take it seriously. Escape from New York was fucking cool because it's a kind of a crazy concept, but they were taking it seriously, and it had kind of a fucking dark underground kind of feel to it. It had really good miniature works, where they had the miniature mock-up of fucking Manhattan. It had good special effects for such a budget movie. It wasn't quite an action flick, but it was
I wouldn't call it an action movie.
No, they didn't have the budget for an action flick, but it did. It was kind of an adventure movie, and it had some good ideas. I wish they had stuck with the same tone as the first one.
I don't know why they had to make it like all silly.
Yeah. Now, the Metal Gear series is a ripoff of Snake Plissken, and some of the Metal Gear video games are in the same tone as Escape from New York. That's also good, but I only have one game of those. I got to go back and get the old games. They evidently remastered them, but I haven't had time really. I'm playing other games at the moment, but I always had a thing for fucking John Carpenter movies, and one of the ones is fucking Escape from New York. And here's the weird thing. When that movie came out, I saw it in the theater. I liked it, but I didn't think it was that good. When fucking The Thing came out, oh man, I loved that. Yeah,
I mean, that's easily his best
loved that
movie.
one, yeah.
I mean, all his movies are worth watching, but I mean, The Thing is obviously.
But over time, Escape from New York kept coming back to me. That character, and Kurt Russell actually had a lot to do with the way Snake looked and what he was wearing. That was actually Kurt Russell's motorcycle boots. That he had. They were his personal motorcycle boots for that, and then they made the snow camouflage for him. Because some of the shit got cut out. You could see the deleted scenes, but he was supposed to be the veteran of a Siberian war. So it was snow, Arctic camouflage that he was wearing, his pants. It was supposed to be futuristic stuff. And you can find the bank robbery scene where he was robbing the bank. And it was kind of a high-tech scene. It wasn't really violent. And that was really the reason why I got cut out of the movie. Because it was a cool scene, but it wasn't a violent robbery. It was more like a fucking cyber crime, is what they did. And Kurt Russell thought that it was better to leave that out. So when you found out that he was involved in a bank robbery, that your imagination would take over of what it was like.
Probably the right decision.
And yeah, it was the right decision. It's better for you to not know exactly what went down. Great movie. I don't think you could successfully remake it and really capture it. I'm going to back up on that. The dude that did Dune and fucking Blade Runner could do Snake Plissken. What's that guy? Villeneuve?
Denis Villeneuve.
He could do it. He would understand it. Zach contacted me off the fucking show and said that Villeneuve got James Bond. And he sent me a clip.
Which I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, he said he's been a fan of James Bond.
I've liked all of his movies that I've seen.
That's the right man to give James Bond to.
If you guys have not seen Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal, please see that.
But Denis
I love
Villeneuve,
that fucking movie.
I believe that he will deliver, if he's really directing it, he will deliver a very excellent James Bond. Because here's the thing, man. People are always talking about back in the day, James Bond, this and that. No, there were some mediocre ass James Bond movies, man.
We did a whole run of like some older James Bond movies, and some of them are still great, but a lot of them were like not that good.
They're not that good, yeah.
I think, like I said, I never wanted to be one of those old motherfuckers that thought everything old was automatically better.
Yeah.
Because sometimes shit that I really liked as a kid, I'm always kind of curious to watch it again as an adult, and probably 50% of the time it sucks.
Yeah, a lot of times it's like, man,
it's not good.
Not as good as I thought it was.
It's not good. It's like, yeah, I was a kid and I was dumb.
Yeah.
And it's like I liked this when I was a kid. Now sometimes it holds up, but a lot of times it doesn't. So I feel like a lot of people don't do that, and so maybe they're just operating on, it's like, man, shit was so much better back in the day, and it's like this show and that band and all this other stuff. I'm like, have you actually watched that show or like listened to that band like since then? Yeah. If not, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. They'll go on and on about Sean Connery. I like Sean Connery as an actor. He did a lot of good shit. I really wasn't impressed with his James Bond. And
some of them were good, but some of them were
just hit and miss. It's hit and miss.
They were very hit and miss. Some of them were kind of dull, I thought.
Yeah. And then...
and he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he's not...
And, not a likable jerk.
Not very likable. And then Roger Moore, hit and miss. Mostly a miss.
I didn't like the Roger Moore.
Mostly a miss. There was a few of them that were pretty good. But
it seemed like they were playing it for comedy. Or that's kind of, and I didn't really like that.
The best fucking old James Bond was fucking Lazenby.
George Lazenby,
yeah, fucking On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
That's I really liked that.
That's the best James Bond movie.
I really liked that one.
Yeah, that one and the Daniel Craig movies.
I like some of the Sean Connery ones too, but
some of the Sean Connery movies and some of the fucking GoldenEye was like a perfect fucking James Bond movie. Also, so was Living Daylights.
Yeah,
it was a perfect James. That was. That dude did two of them. The first one he did was fucking great.
Timothy Dalton.
The first one thought it was fucking spot on. Great. Perfect Bond movie. The second one, he went back to that kooky ass fucking Roger Moore.
Yeah, see, I don't like that tone. I don't like it.
No. The first Dalton movie was very much like a modern Bond with fucking Daniel Craig. It was kind of like that. But so was the Lazenby one. I think the Daniel Craig movies were actually more in tone,
kind of
same tone as Lazenby.
Yeah. And as Zach said, I still can't believe how ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service was as a movie. Yeah, it felt so modern. It really, really did.
Now, my mom is a huge James Bond fan, and she likes the cheesy shit.
See, I don't like the cheesy.
Roger Moore, she loves that cheesy shit. Wimpy, pretty.
I didn't like Roger Moore as James Bond.
But I mentioned to her, I said, you got to see On Her Majesty's Secret Service. She goes, oh no, me and your dad saw that. She says, I think I was pregnant with you when we saw that. I said, really? She goes, yeah, your dad loved that one. She says, that was a great one. And then that guy didn't come back.
Yeah, he didn't really want to. I think he didn't want to be typecast.
He didn't want to do it again. Yeah.
Although it's kind of a shame because he was a great Bond.
But they've been able to keep up that writing.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Part of the great thing about Secret Service was the writing. You had to have that writer and that director, or it wouldn't be that same magic.
It was just the whole, the whole thing, like all the actors, the whole ensemble of it, the writing, it was compelling all the way through. All the acting was good. Everything was just good.
Telly Savalas.
Yeah, he was a great villain. I always liked Telly Savalas.
International hotties of all races being brainwashed to deliver bioweapons. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Yeah. And then in that one, Bond actually went undercover to pretend to be somebody else to get the mission done, which that's what you would think a secret agent does.
Yeah, that's like...
But in a lot of the other bullshit, he goes, oh no, nice to meet you. I'm Bond. James Bond.
I'm
the international secret agent. Yeah.
Even though everybody knows who I am.
Wait a minute, hold on. You're James Bond, secret agent? Yes.
Yes, I'm a secret agent. See how secret I'm being?
Yeah, I'm secret as fuck. Look at my fucking car. Look at my fucking Aston Martin with the machine guns on it, man. Yeah. Nobody knows I have that.
Yeah.
Fucking.
That's kind of that's kind of one of the funny like contradictions about the whole James Bond series is that you want him to be like a character, like he's cool and everything, but it's just like he's a secret agent. It's like people shouldn't know his real name.
He may as well be Austin Powers.
Yeah, I mean, essentially. Well, that's why they did those parodies. Because of that contradiction.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, yeah, you're supposed to be a secret agent. You're supposed to be, like, on the down low.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole job description.
Yeah.
So you can't just be, like, some big ostentatious, everybody knows who you are, and there's your real name, and you drive this flashy-ass car.
In this car, these fucking suits and shit. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody sees me.
Yeah.
But that was the good thing. That was but in the Craig ones, they played it off. He wasn't undercover.
Yeah.
He was just a dude, nobody knew who he was, fitting in to some scene where some bad guys were, and he'd like kill a couple of them. Just an assassin. He wasn't trying to pass himself off as somebody else. So you notice that?
Yeah.
Very rarely he didn't adopt other identities. He just was a dude that showed up and killed you.
Yeah.
Or found out something or stopped something. So that was a little more credible. So because it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter your car. You're not trying to pass yourself off as something.
Well, like I said, I think the whole point of the James Bond movies, well, and the books before then, was not so much as we're trying to portray a real secret agent, because obviously it's not. But, I mean, he did... You know, Ian Fleming did know a lot about that.
Yeah.
But he was also doing, like, fantasy porn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I want to be the coolest motherfucker in the room. It's like, I walk in, all the hot chicks walk over, I have, like, the super flashy car.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows who I am. I'm the coolest dude ever. But it's like, that doesn't really square with
in Casino Royale, El Chafre didn't know who that was. But he suspected that it was some kind of an agent. But it was still kind of plausible. They kept it fairly plausible, I think, through most of it. He was a combatant. He wasn't really a secret agent in the way that you would think of one. But they did note that in his organization there were other people that could blend in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Old ladies and fucking dudes
like
you
I
would
said,
never
that's
suspect.
Kind of the whole point.
Yeah, he just happened to be kind of like the muscle of the organization, which is kind of like in Mission Impossible. Ethan Hunt was kind of like, you know, he was the face, but behind his unit was a bunch of other support people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make it all happen.
You can't go around being a secret agent looking like Tom Cruise. Hey, you're Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you're Tom Cruise. You're a secret agent.
Aren't you fucking that fish?
Yeah. You're fucking the fish. That's fucking hilarious.
Didn't you go in the bathroom and fuck that fish?
He did not fuck that fish.
Allegedly.
That is an online fucking
That's so funny,
fantasy.
though.
It's a good one. It's a good one, but it didn't happen.
It's so random.
It didn't happen. This is something somebody made up.
I wonder why somebody made up that particular thing.
Because
that's just like really interesting.
It probably has something to do with South Park.
Probably.
And fucking...
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of episodes.
And, yeah, South Park with... Because South Park did a whole thing about Tom Cruise being in the closet.
Well, yeah, I saw that one.
And then it had fucking... What was that guy's name? Fucking Gay Fish. Fucking... Who am I talking about? The fucking rapper guy.
Yeah, I know.
What's his name? Fucking... I'm not Diddy. Fucking...
No, it's not P. Diddy.
What's that guy's name? Fucking... Man, it shows you how much... I'm fucking drunk right now, so I can't remember the guy's name.
I can't think of it either.
But,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's always getting in trouble. Fucking... He's trying to pretend like he's a Nazi and stuff. Fucking... They're gonna say it in the comments section.
Yeah, they probably... Somebody will remember.
Yeah. But I think that goes back to the Tom Cruise in the closet and the Gay Fish video.
Yeah, maybe somebody conflated.
And they mixed the two together.
Like,
that Tom Cruise is doing gay shit with the fish. Because that was happening around.
Like they were implying that Tom Cruise was taking a big old bass into the bathroom and sticking his dick in his mouth, or in other orifices. I'm not really sure.
His name's Kanye West. Kanye.
No, Zach said it was R. Kelly.
No, it wasn't R. Kelly. I thought it was Kanye West, wasn't it? Was it R. Kelly with the fish? No, it was Kanye West with the fish.
Wasn't R. Kelly the one that had the peeing videos? I'm getting them confused.
I get them all confused. But no, it was Kanye. It was Kanye West and the fish. living as a gay fish in the ocean.
That's
kissing
right.
a gay
I
fish and
remember
loving
that.
on a gay, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was Kanye West.
So I get that. So
And
somebody probably
in
thought
that same
how
episode,
funny
I
it would
believe
be.
they were also talking about Tom Cruise needs to come out of the closet. And then Tom Cruise would be in the closet.
And
Tom
so
Cruise,
somebody
will you
was
please come out of the
watching
closet?"
that and
he's in
thought,
the, and they put it together. And they're talking about Tom Cruise and the gay fish.
and the gay fish.
Yeah.
Well, the
Having
fish
sex in
was dead. It's not
He
gay
bought
or
the
straight.
fish from the fish market. He's having sex with it in the bathroom.
The fish could not consent to whatever Tom Cruise was doing.
Here's the fucking stupid part. Here's the stupid part of that whole fucking tale. That a dude as rich and powerful as Tom Cruise could not have a fresh fish delivered to him at his apartment
That's
or
what
his
I mean.
house.
Even if you were into that, I'm not judging. Even if you were into that, like you have as much money and
Yeah.
power as Tom Cruise.
Tom
yeah,
Cruise
you
sit
don't
up in
have
his
to go
house.
to like some broke-ass
Broke-ass
grocery
fucking
store
grocery
that
store
the rest of
to
us peons go to.
Yeah, to
So
go
somebody
hide
could
off in
see
the
you.
bathroom to fuck the fish.
Although, unless that's part of the kink.
It's just no. It was made up. It was fucking.
I'm just
made,
trying to
it was,
keep
it was made up. It was made up. It was made up.
I'm just trying to keep it going.
Tom Cruise had enough
That's
money
not
to
part of the
sit
game.
back and have fish delivered to him at his apartment, fucking 24/7.
Okay, so Papa77 said, yeah, it was Kanye West.
It's Kanye West, yeah.
R. Kelly was in the closet with Tom Cruise. Okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
So they were both in the episode, yeah.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've seen that episode.
And I think that was all the same episode, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
And
yeah.
so I think somebody conflated all that together.
I just haven't seen it in
And
a
about
long time.
Tom Cruise having gay sex with fish.
Which, okay. Like I said, I'm sure there's somebody out there that does that. I'm sure there's porn of it. I'm not going to look it up,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there is.
And look, man, Tom Cruise, he's a fellow member of the Short Man Mafia.
I got to pee.
And I will defend Tom Cruise
Yes,
for what he
yes.
is. For what he is, I'm going to fucking give disclaimer.
Yes,
You
yeah.
walking around, man, that booty looking good. Fucking, yeah. Yeah, it's getting big. But Tom Cruise, one, he does not have sex with fish. This is a fucking totally fraudulent fucking movie. Fucking story made up. All right. And there was something else I was going to say about him, but I'm kind of forgetting. But no, Tom Cruise, he's the last of the American real movie stars, though. Okay, that bitch can deliver. All right, he came out with that Tom Cruise Maverick. Shit made $1 billion just by retelling Star Wars. I said that last Mission Impossible movie wasn't all that good, but I'll buy that shit. I'll watch that shit online. We'll see. I'll be my own judge because I liked the other Mission Impossible movies. There were a couple of them that were kind of hokey, you know. The John Woo one was fucking very woo and fucking real Chinese feeling to it, but that was in style for the time. Here she comes.
Here she comes. That fan is like pissing me off. I'm just gonna tell you.
I go to the restroom.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Oh, Papa said it wasn't the same episode. Okay. See, I don't even remember. Like I said, it's been such a long time. I haven't watched South Park in a long time. Zach says, supposedly they're eyeing Pedro Pascal for the villain in the next movie. Ooh. I like that idea. I'd also love to see him as Felix. Oh, he'd be a great Felix. Although he'd be a great villain, too. I think. I really like it. I really like him. So I think that'd be really cool. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it. I love that director. Zach says, have you read any of Ian Fleming's Bond books? I have not, but it's on my to-do list. I definitely want to read at least one of them. Next Dimension Media said, watch Motel Hell, you're right, better than I remembered. Yeah, see, I thought so too. Like, I was thinking it was just some cheap jack, but I was like, wow, this is like much better. It's much better shot. It's like much better quality than I remembered it being. My only criticism, it looked more like it was about a TV movie or movie of the week from that era. Yeah, it wasn't real, other than the nudity, because there was boobs in it, but it wasn't super, super gory. Like, there was only, like, one, like we said on the review, there was really only one kind of gory shot of, like, him getting a chainsaw in the side. That was actually really well done. But other than that, like, all of the murders were kind of not all that gory.
What are you talking about?
Motel Hell.
Oh yeah. It wasn't a gory movie. It was just a weird movie.
Yeah, it wasn't gory. Like I said, just the idea of it was weird. When I was in the bathroom just now, for some reason, I was thinking about. I know Tammy's not here. I don't think.
Yeah, she's here.
Because she was the big Farscape fan.
Yeah.
But because as most of you know, we've been working our way through Farscape. We just last night started on season 3, and this is why I love this show, because so all of these different aliens of different species are on this ship, like they're all criminals of some sort or another, and so they're all trying to escape from the authorities. And so there was a little bit of an arc where one of them, Ciarra, was fucking another alien, Dargo, and there's different species. And then there's a whole story arc where they find his son, because he's been looking for his son for like a long time, and they don't know where he went to because his wife got murdered and all this other kind of stuff. And it turned out his son got sold into slavery, and they found out where the slave auction was going to be, and so they went in and like rescued him and stuff like that. And it was this whole thing. And like within an episode, Ciarra, who is humping the dad, starts humping the son, like starts cheating. I was just like, this is why I love this, because that character, Ciarra, is kind of like portrayed as a slut, but like not like it's a bad thing. She's like, oh well, that's just how she do, and nobody's like mad about it. I mean, obviously he got mad about it because like that'd be kind of weird to find out that your girlfriend was fucking your son, but you know, understandably. But I kind of like that they went there.
Being a slut's her superpower.
Yeah, because she gets a lot of stuff, because she's very good at, like, getting information out of dudes of different species, because she's hot and everything. So it's like, so I like that they kind of, but they don't really, like, shame her for that. I think that's pretty cool.
She attempted to turn some tricks, too, in order to get some shit, but then
what's
his name
stopped her,
nah, like, nah.
It's like, hey, I'll fuck this dude, like, to get whatever we need or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, don't do that. But, you know, she's like, okay, I've done it before, but...
She's wild.
Yeah. But I just thought that was so funny. I thought it was so cool that I was like, man, I didn't think like a show from Sci-Fi in like 2000 would have gone there.
Yo, no, Farscape was
like with her like, you know, fucking the dad, and then like the son comes on board, and she's like, oh,
yeah, she went after that too,
and she went after the son too.
Yeah,
and they're like sneaking around and stuff. Well, he does find out like.
Well, she's basically a juvenile delinquent from her fucking planet, and she.
I love it.
Throws the ass around. She does what she can. I mean, she's like a thief, and fucking she lies, and she...
But she's still, like, really charming.
Yeah,
she's still, cool. Like, a really likable character.
She's cool. She's just part of the team. She just does what she has to do. But, you know, she's wreaking havoc. Fucking... She's not... She's not one...
And I was like, wow, they really blew up that relationship, didn't they?
Yeah. She's not one you need... She's not one you want to take seriously if you're sleeping with her. She's going to cheat on you. Well, it's a good description of fucking real people, though. They got people.
That's what I mean.
Really
I guess Dargo learned that to his detriment.
Yeah, he wanted
to like marry her.
Kind of stuff. Yeah,
until he found out. Yeah, she's fucking your son, actually.
Yeah,
like on the down low.
No, she gets fucking hot. She gets hot. She gets hot out. You know, goes into heat and decides she's gonna, you know, get fucked. You know, just.
I know.
There's a lot of people like that.
I know how that happens.
You know how it happens. That's how I got you. I don't shame over it. It's just how it is.
Although, like I said, I'm not.
That in itself can make a woman hot. They got some dudes that fucking they have like a like slut aversion. I kind of came up on them. I thought
I like sluts.
Yeah, I liked them. You know, I'm not.
I wasn't trying to get
married. I was just trying to have a good time and fucking, you know. She can go to this, like, yeah, that's hot, baby. I just was never really that possessive. Some dudes are trying to.
You're not a real possessive.
No, some dudes are real possessive, and because they like her, they don't want anybody else to like her, and they don't want her to like anybody else. So they, oh, that's mine. Yeah, no, dude, that's not your wife.
Or it's like, even if it was, that's a person.
Yeah,
like you can't. Right, it's not a possession.
Right. The only problem was you didn't want them to like run off.
Yeah.
And if it's your wife, you don't want her to run off with some dude. Oh, you're out of your shit. She takes all your money. You know, it's not that kind of thing. It's
and,
just,
you know. But you know that I would never do that, so.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about a time when, you know, that particular character's I think in her early 20s. You know, the shit that you do in your early 20s is not really the things that you do when you're in your 50s. You're a little more reasonable.
Once you've grown up a little bit. Because, we all did stupid shit.
Yeah. You're dealing with other people that
I didn't really do that much stupid shit in my 20s because I was married. But once I got divorced, I did some stupid shit. It wasn't
No, it wasn't stupid. I was there for that. I saw you dating.
It wasn't that stupid.
No, you were just doing normal shit.
I didn't do stupid shit.
Everything you did, she told me everything pretty much. It was all normal shit.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't crazy. Hey, you know who's here? Dave is here.
Who?
He's like, boo. Hey, you two.
Who's
Life
here?
has been, Dave. Has been chaotic, but I wanted to pop in before I start to get ready to go to Mannequins.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's Mannequins tonight.
That's right, it's Friday Night Mannequins.
Man, we want to go back there. We were there like about a month ago.
Well, it's probably more like 2 months.
More like 2 months? Yeah.
Maybe 3.
But tomorrow we got to go to...
we're going to Barbarella
tomorrow. We like the music there, you know. We like the 80s music better.
Yeah.
Paul, he just plays shit that's too fucking new and crappy. New music is kind of crappy. It's not really good quality. What it is just like an earworm. Repetitive and fucking electronic and I don't know. And it doesn't know what genre it is. You know, I don't really think a lot of that shit's goth.
It's not.
No.
And like we went a couple times, or no, we went once on the Mannequins 80s night because Barbarella was closed. So we went there on that, and that was kind of fun. But there was like a lot of douchebags there though.
Yeah.
Which I suspected would probably happen. I mean, there's a lot of douchebags there on the goth night too.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it'll be even worse, like on the 80s.
The
night.
kids like it.
You know the kids, they like it.
The kids like it, yeah.
I guess so. But you know, I'm old. I like new shit too, but it's just kind of like a lot of the new shit that gets played. Sometimes I don't really like it so much.
There's new shit that's really good.
There's new shit that's good that they don't play.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they don't know about it or they don't like it or I don't really know.
I think what Paul's playing is what he's hearing what's being played in other clubs.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'm gonna play that. But everyone will tell you if you go to the biggest fucking goth club in fucking America, which is down the Castle down in Tampa, that bitch is fucking awesome. People have gone there that I know from other parts of the fucking United States who were into the goth scene. DJs themselves are like, man, the music's shit there. He goes, yeah.
I thought the music sucked back in in the late 90s.
The Castle has always played shitty music. It's really like fucking hard industrial and electronic music that doesn't quite really fit. And it's just... No, the Castle is a fucking great club, but it's got shitty music.
Yeah, I never liked the music there, really. Dave says, tomorrow, Barbs, maybe I'll find my axe, LOL.
Huh?
Yeah, he says, yeah. You should.
Show up tomorrow, yeah. Oh, man, it's fun.
I really like it there. Yeah. Like I said, at first, as usual, the first time I went there, I was like, what the fuck is this place? But
we warmed up to it over time.
Yeah, I actually did kind of warm up to it at because like I said, on Saturday nights, although last Saturday we got there at 9:30 like we usually do, and they had already turned all the lights off. There were no axe people there.
Yeah.
Like most of the regular people had left.
And the axe people are no trouble though.
Yeah, it's like they'll hang out for like an hour or two, or like an hour, and then they usually leave, and then they turn all the lights off, and then
yeah.
But we've never had any problem with any of that.
If people don't know what we're talking about, the axe people, it's an axe throwing bar. It's a bar where they're throwing axes at these targets. And it's got good food, and it's got fucking really good booze, and it's got a dance floor and shit on the other side of it. And it's an upscale place. It used to be a strip club.
Yeah.
But then they rebuilt the whole fucking place. It does have a stripper pole.
Yeah, I like that they kept...
Yeah.
And they kept the neon sign from the booby trap. Because like I said, that was an Orlando classic.
It's owned by a couple of doctors, and they brought in our favorite DJ guy who used to own, fucking what was the name of the place?
Independent Bar.
Independent Bar.
Well, it was Barbarella, and then it was Independent Bar,
and
now it's Barbarella again.
Yeah, and when COVID hit, he lost that place, and fucking Orange Avenue got really ghetto.
Everyone kind of left.
Everyone left, and fucking the shootings increased and stuff, and the higher end crowd ended up in the surrounding suburbs, places like Sanford, which they have good club scenes there too. Kind of reminds me of something like, I don't know, out of New Orleans or something. Because downtown, you know, in the United States, the downtown areas are not really all that good. They used to be, but cities are kind of becoming dilapidated, high crime places. All the cool shit's happening out away from the center of the city in nice places that are fucking newer and have higher end clientele a lot of times. And they're usually specialized. You know what I mean? You can't go to a random place. It's got to be a place where your people go. And it's fun. It's just that you can't... It's not like in other countries where you go downtown and that's where all the best shit is. It kind of used to be that way, but it's just not like that anymore. Because I think fucking Orange Ave is a bad neighborhood now.
I haven't been down there in a long time.
Nobody wants to go.
Know. Like, nobody goes down there.
Nobody wants to go.
Evidently. Yeah, Dave said just hope there are handicap spots for my Gimp ass. Yeah.
There's parking all over the place.
They have their own dedicated parking lot. And there's handicap spaces right there.
And across the street.
And then right across there's a tiny little back street. And then there's a 7-Eleven and there's a salon.
Yeah.
And the salon is closed, but they let people park in there.
Yeah.
And we have never run out of parking.
Yeah. They won't get you out of there.
No.
Who's another super chat?
Oh, Stu Corson is a super chat.
Who?
Tom, email me. I need workout advice.
Okay. How can I email you?
That's our Dollar General friend.
Oh, Dollar General. Okay. All right.
CB says, my town is full of bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all that's out here, like I said, we live out in the sticks.
Yeah.
So it's mostly just like redneck biker bars out here. You know, Tom goes to the Oasis, which is like a biker dive.
Yeah.
And then what's that other place that I've never been in there. I think you have.
Which one?
That we drive past on the way.
JJ's?
I think it's JJ's.
Yeah, that place. I've been in there a couple times. I really like that place.
Yeah, it looks.
It's more like foosball tables.
It looks sketchy from the outside. I would never.
Isn't it? Yeah, fuck that. But that place gets packed.
I can imagine. I don't like. I said I'm not trying to be a snot or anything, but it's just like that's not really my scene, man.
No.
It's just like I don't.
Super redneck, real. Super
redneck. No thanks.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, and I
can do well in there.
Well, yeah, you can blend in. I can't.
I go in there and like, yeah.
You can blend in. I can't.
Yeah. I got videos of me hanging out fucking some of these places. I'm like a star when I go in there. But the thing is the music starts driving me out of there eventually.
Yeah, I don't really like
But I'm usually pulling up on a fucking bike, you know. A Buell.
So it's
like Harley riders and shit,
so
you know
no
what I mean?
So gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stuart said, where do I find your email, Tom? And the Bee's Nest said, email the girl, LOL. Yeah, it's probably better just, he never checks his email.
Yeah, I don't fuck with email.
Honestly, messaging him on Facebook or Instagram is probably the quickest way. Or if you email me.
Look, man, fucking, you're right here. Any advice I give you is just going to be wasted. You ain't going to do nothing about it. What you should do is you should pay me to come here and I'll train you in my gym.
Yeah, we got a gym right here.
Yeah.
We got all the machines and everything.
I'll put your ass on fucking test. Fucking, you'll gain fucking 40 pounds in about 2 years. All right? We'll work out a price. But, you know. But if you're going to come in here for that shit, you're going to be my student. I'll train you.
He's going to whip you into shape.
Yeah. I got everything it takes. In 18 months, you'll be a totally different man. You'll be about 30 pounds heavier. You're a young dude. I could put a bunch of fucking good weight on you. You'd be a fucking monster. Okay? And I'll put your ass on fucking test. I know how to get a young guy on test. I know you. You're a skinny fuck. In 18 months, you kind of look like me. Yeah. Because you're young. You can grow quickly. But I can get everything you need. But we're talking, you know. You come here fucking two days a week. Maybe an hour or so. Got a nice place here. Fucking professional fucking gym. In a private environment. We're talking $150, $200 a month. But it'd be worth it. And that includes the drugs. More or less. Pretty much. That's probably what it would cost.
Yeah, you probably have to look it up. But
yeah, but I did a fucking, but for about $200 a month, $150 a month, fucking, I could get you some results. Yeah.
Dave says, well, love you both. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, please come
Yeah, man,
out.
stop by. You'll like the place.
Yeah, if you've never come there, because I don't remember ever seeing you there.
Yeah. It's like Mannequins. It's just a little higher end.
I always have, like I said,
older crowd.
Mannequins, I like it there, but it's like I just never feel entirely relaxed because I don't know, like...
Well, I got to fight almost fucking half the time I got to go there.
Show up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get groped or something.
Yeah.
So that's happened a lot. So it's just kind of like, I'm not real chill. So it's like Barbarella is like, I feel like I can just go there and I can just like chill the fuck out. Because I know everybody there and it's just kind of like nothing bad's going to happen. You know, nothing bad's going to happen. So I can just completely relax. It's really nice. Let's see. Zach says, you guys ever listen to the British band The Zombies? Yes. That's they're old 60s. That's old 60s band, right? Stugor says, so which drugs do I need to buy?
Don't worry about it.
That's all the advice I need, Tom.
No, don't worry about that
and
shit.
Exercises. I know what to do.
Don't worry about all that shit.
Okay.
No. I ain't going to tell you nothing unless you're working with me.
He's
Part of it is my fucking knowledge and
free.
expertise. And I can supply all that.
Even though he's told most people stuff for free. Like
but the thing is that you can't fuck with cryptocurrency and you don't know what to do. You don't know the fucking the regimen you have to be on. I'm telling you, dude, you couldn't manage that on your own. You'd need management to do it. You're not the kind of guy. Because if you were the kind of guy, you'd already be doing it. I've dealt with you bitches. Okay? I've had a lot of guys come and go and start, but they can't manage it.
Yeah, Zach says, yes, they are. The Zombies are from the 60s. And that's most of what I'm listening to lately. Yeah, I thought that you had been listening to like a lot of older music lately. Like I said, I had heard of them before. I haven't listened to a lot of their stuff, but I've heard of a few of their songs. He said, I like their sound. It's very art rocky and sophisticated. Yeah, there was a lot of shit going on in the 60s that was kind of ahead of its time, honestly. Like, if you listen to it now. But I think it's cool that, like I said, now that everything's kind of out there on the same level, as it were. Because we didn't really have that when we were growing up. Like I said, we were kind of, we were kind of like the last generation where your parents listened to one kind of music and you were like, yeah, I don't want to listen to that. You want to listen to new shit. But now that, everything is on the internet, like, it doesn't really matter, like, what era it came from. Like, anybody can discover anything at any time, which I thought was kind of cool. Like, like the other day, well, this was like a couple months back, but, like, we saw that commercial and it had that song in it, and I was just kind of like, man, that's a cool song. And Tom's like, that's a cool song. Like, what is that song?
Yeah.
And, like, we looked it up and found out what it was. Like some weird art rock song from the 70s. It was a
French-Japanese girl.
Yeah.
She was half French and half Japanese.
And I was like, man, that's awesome.
And we got it on our playlist.
Yeah, so I found out what it was, and I put it on Spotify.
I forgot what the name of that
I can't remember what her name was. It was kind of like a pretty normal, like, regular name.
Yeah, it was a perfume commercial, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah, who the fuck was it?
Was it Chanel?
I think it was Chanel, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just remember seeing that commercial a couple times, and I'm like, man, that's a great fucking song.
It was a late 70s song, but it sounded like it was something from the 90s. It was kind of like industrial sounding.
Well, kind of, but it also had that late 70s. It also had that 70s kind of vibe to it, like slightly Nico-ish.
Yeah, like
that I was really into.
Yeah.
So it's like, so that's kind of what I responded to about it, but it's like, so I just hear like old shit like that all the time that I didn't even hear at the time.
It was called Follow Me, wasn't it?
I think it's called Follow Me.
Yeah. Just follow me.
Yeah. Because normally, like I said, I hear a lot of songs in commercials and they don't stand out, but that one really stood out because I was like, ooh, somebody knew their shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was a deep cut. You can't play it on here though because we'll get demonetized.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stukor said, "Don't be mad, Tom. He's not mad.
I'm not mad.
I mean, he seems like he's mad.
No,
but he's not.
I ain't
It's just I'm learning, so I gotta decline the offer. But I do love y'all, just like doing shit on my own. Yeah, I get it. I also like doing shit on my own, so I understand that. I understand that. Let's see. Zach says, if anything, I prefer the old shit. I'd even say normie music from back in the day was more unique than a lot of what's coming out now. Yeah, to a large extent, I'd agree with you. Up until the 70s, I think. You know? I don't know. Because a lot of music that, like, normal people, I guess, were listening to. I don't know. I don't know if I can really say that. Because what were normal people listening to in the 60s? I have no idea. You know?
Who knows what a normal person in the 60s was?
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't alive then. So it's like, so I don't really know.
So it's hard to tell through the movies and television and the movies for the 60s. It's hard to tell what was normal. Because most of the shit they were showing you was fake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, even, it's like, because I've seen a lot of movies from the 60s, but, like, even then, when they show, like, youth culture or whatever, and they're, like, having music in there, it's like, I was like, well, is that really what people were listening to, or what the people that made this movie thought that they were listening to? You know what I'm saying?
What it was.
So it's just kind of like, it's kind of hard to make that distinction. So I don't really know. But like I said, I think maybe the 60s was, or the 70s rather, was maybe when that started to diverge some, you know? Because you had a lot of people listening to whatever was popular on the radio at that time, but then you also had, like, this whole, like, underground, because you had punk and then you had, like, post-punk and everything, and you couldn't really hear that on the radio. So I kind of feel like maybe that's when it started to diverge to a great degree. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking about my ass. That was just the perception that I had.
Yeah, was it Amanda Lear? Follow Me?
I think it was.
French singer, 78, lead single from Sweet Revenge. I think it might have been Amanda Lear. Yeah.
Yeah, Zach said some 70s stuff I like. One of my friends turned me on to Neil Young. Yeah, I kind of like Neil Young also. And for whatever reason, I had Carole King, some stuck in my head most of today. Never heard of Tapestry before, but I kind of dig it. Yeah, I kind of like Carole King also. You know?
Yeah.
And honestly, as I've gotten older, a lot of shit I didn't really like from the 70s, I've kind of, like, warmed to a little bit. Like, I didn't really like disco. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what? Some of that's, like, pretty okay.
I don't think it is Amanda Lear, because that girl's blonde. The girl that fucking did it was fucking... She was Japanese looking.
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Klaus says, do you remember that band Atomic Swing? That's not ringing a bell. Not ringing a bell. So I don't know how... Man, I'm like so cold.
Let me turn it up.
Yeah, I'm so cold. It's just like distracting me how cold I am. CB said radio stations would refuse to play music if they didn't like the person or if they thought they were gay or black. Yeah, that was another thing too.
When was this?
That was a big thing too. So yeah, I don't know. I guess there was always an underground in that sense, but I kind of feel like the first time I perceived it was like in the 70s, because that was when I was growing up. So it's like that's kind of what I perceived. Yeah, Stu says, if I don't get the results I want, then I'll hit you up. So that's why we're friends. I respect y'all's opinions and advice, and I call y'all family. That's really nice. That's really nice. Yeah, Klaus says, they're a Swedish band. They had that song, Stone Me Into the Groove? Swedish. I don't think I've ever heard that. I'll look it up, though. Zach says, I just looked up Amanda Lear and she sang for a label called Areola. Oh, that's nice.
It's not Amanda Lear, though.
No, it's not. But she had, like, a normal sounding name. Like, it was a name that didn't...
I'm going to find it.
Like, it wasn't weird or it wasn't a band name or anything like that, because it's like, that's why I can't remember it. That's why I can't remember it, because it was just, like, a regular ass name. Yeah, I tend to really like... There's something appealing about... I guess it's the same reason that I like a lot of those weird 70s made for TV movies and something like that and stuff like that. It's just like there's something about the vibe from that era. Even though there's a lot of shitty stuff about that era too, because I remember it, but the movies and the music had this kind of, I don't know, this kind of like indefinable thing to it that like makes it sound interesting to me. And I was thinking too the other day, I think a lot of the shit that I like about particularly early 80s music, like new wave and some post-punk.
Was it Clementine? No.
No. Was that it had this kind of quality to it that was sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Wistful.
Nana Komatsu?
No. I don't know. That's the word that I was looking for.
No.
Like a lot of it kind of sounds like that, you know? Like it's like longing for something. And it's like, and I really like that vibe. So music that has that, like I usually really respond really well to it, but it's like music that doesn't have that, it's just kind of like I don't usually. But I mean, I don't know. That's kind of a generalization. Because I like music from all eras. I'm not real, like I said, 70s, 80s, probably my favorite, but just like movies. But I like shit from, I like old blues shit. You know, I like Gregorian chants. I like shit from now. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just depends on what it is, like how it hits, you know? Let's see. Zach says, I even found an album from a Norwegian blues band from the 60s called Public Enemies that was really, really good too. Holy shit, I never heard of that. Yeah, CB said, in the UK we had pirate radio stations. You could watch The Boat That Rocked. Yeah, we had pirate radio stations too, but I didn't really have any access to them. The only thing when I was in high school, we used to have, somebody used to do a radio show like on Sunday nights, and they would play like Skinny Puppy and shit like that, which didn't get played on like regular radio. So I always used to listen to that, but I don't even remember
Let's see what's that
station that was. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. It is Amanda Lear. Yeah.
So you're right the first time.
I was right. Yeah. Okay. It's Amanda Lear. Follow me, yeah.
Yeah, I just heard that on a commercial. Like
yeah.
I think it was a Chanel commercial.
It's a Chanel commercial.
And I was just kind of like, man, that's a cool song.
It was way ahead of its time. It's like
that was a cool song.
Yeah.
I think it was from, what, 1979 or something?
77, 78.
77, something like
78.
That. I like I said, I like a lot of music from that era.
I know she's like French and Japanese, but I didn't know she was blonde. The photograph that I saw, she had black hair, but she dyed it blonde. But you can look at her, you can see she's part Japanese. When I first saw it, I was like, it can't be her.
Speaking of French, there's that song that they always play at Barbarella from the 80s. Man, I can never remember her name, but it's like, what the fuck is the name of that song? It's in French. It's a pretty popular like club song, or it was at the time. And it's like, I fucking hate that song. I hate it so much. And it's like, they always play it. And it's like every time and Tom loves that song. So it's like, we have this kind of joke, but it's like every time it comes on, I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? And he's just like, ha ha. And like, he goes out and like dances to it. And like, everybody knows that I hate it. And like, everybody knows that he loves it. And it's like this whole thing. But I can't remember. I remember the lead singer of the band, or the singer. She did some porn too, which I've seen. The porn was better than the music. The porn wasn't great either, because it was like old school porn. You know what I mean? It was very hairy. But I don't know. There's something about that song that like rubs me the wrong way. I like a lot of 80s music, and I even like a lot of 80s music that I didn't like at the time. But there's some stuff that still gets on my nerves. That fucking French song. Tom might remember who it is, but that French song gets on my nerves. Book of Love gets on my nerves. Holy shit. Which was funny. I thought it was so funny. That movie that we reviewed not too long ago, Companion. A big part, I don't want to say it was a big part of the plot, but there was like that Book of Love song was in there. And they played it like a few times in the movie. And I was kind of like, well, I'm not going to hold it against that movie, even though I fucking hate that band. And I hate that band only because they're not like, they don't sound that much different than a lot of other 80s bands. But I hate them because when I was in school, I didn't have a car. And my best friend, whose name was Christy, she had a car. And she fucking loved Book of Love, and she also loved fucking In Excess. And she played those two tapes, Book of Love and In Excess, like pretty much constantly, like in the car. And I didn't really have much choice. Like if I wanted to go somewhere, I didn't have a car. So it's like she had to like cart my stupid ass around. So it's like she always had one of those, and she just loved it. She never got tired of it. And I was like, oh my God. And I got so fucking sick of that Book of Love tape. And I was just like, I wanted to fucking scream every time she put it on. So like now every time they come on at the club, which they do quite often, I'm just kind of like, like it just, I don't know. They just rub me the wrong way. But like I said, a lot of the music from that era, I can tolerate it now.
See you around, Klaus. Klaus gotta go.
Oh, see you, Klaus.
We're gonna shut the show down.
What's it? Anyway. What is that French song that I hate that they play at Barbarella all the time?
I don't remember what that chick's name was.
God, I hate that song.
I love that song.
I know you do. I hate that song.
It's a French porn star.
Yeah.
From the 70s, and in the 80s she did. She's cute.
She did a couple like kind of popular. I don't know if they were. I don't know if they were chart popular, but they were like club popular.
Yeah, she could sing. She's a really good singer.
Yeah.
She did a bunch of other theater stuff. She wasn't just merely a porn star. She was just French. You know how the French are, especially back then. You know, and I don't remember that chick's name, but it's a good song. I like it. Jen doesn't like it because I guess it's because it's too sing-songy or too repetitive, and there's too many.
I don't know. There's just something about it that like it's.
Yeah, I like it.
Just gets on my nerves.
I didn't like her porn. No.
No.
There's nothing to.
I like the porn better than the song.
Nah, that bitch is too hairy.
But that's what I said.
Yeah, fucking bitch is too hairy, and fucking it's just like she didn't have the body, you know. But her I like her music. They say she's a real good actress.
I mean, I'm willing.
But she did French movies.
Yeah.
So you know.
Well, I like French movies. I've seen quite a few. But yeah, for some reason that song just kind of, and I'm not a huge fan. I've softened on them over the years. I was never a huge fan of the Cult either.
It's Moreto quanto tu here.
Yeah, it's all in French.
Yeah.
And when they play the video, they always play like the English.
Yeah. Which I'm not real. My French is shitty, but fucking.
I mean, like I speak okay French, but I don't remember like what the words are. I don't remember. But because I'm not hearing it right now. But I don't know why that song pisses me off so much. It just does. Like I said, I don't have like a huge reaction to a lot of them like I have that one, but I'm just kind of like, it's this fucking song again. And it's like, so every time it comes on, it's like, and it seems like it's like 5 years long. So I'm just kind of like, man, I'm going to go outside on the patio and fucking, you know what I mean? Until this is over. It's kind of like, you know what's funny? Okay, so.
Yeah, it's called Marcia Balia.
That's right.
Marcia dances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she keeps talking to somebody named Marcia.
Yeah.
Marcia.
Yeah, Marcia.
Marcia.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate that song.
I love the song. It's very upbeat.
It drives me crazy. Maybe that's probably why.
It's very
I like
upbeat.
more downbeat shit. Shit that's too happy, it just makes me mad.
Very upbeat, very intense.
I don't like shit that's too happy. It makes me like distrustful. I'm like, what the fuck are you so happy about? Stop it. You know? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. That's why every time he plays, because sometimes he kind of semi-ironically plays REM Shiny Happy People.
Yeah, this is the video. It's called Les Rita Misukio Marcia Balia.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that's what it looks like on YouTube. Down right there. That's the little porn star.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Man, they play that pretty much.
Balia.
I don't know if I'd say every week, but
yeah,
I don't know, almost every week. He pretty much always.
It's a good song. Somewhere. Jen doesn't like it. It's,
I don't know,
but
like I said, it gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that gets on my nerves. Book of Love gets on my nerves. In Excess gets on my nerves, but to a smaller extent. Like, because I like a couple of their songs. Like, I like Don't Change, and I like The One Thing.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Like, if they play their other shit, like Suicide Blonde or anything, I'm like, no. No thanks. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's see if she's there. Damn thing to show her. Where is she?
Yeah, they play that all the time.
That's her right there.
All the time.
She can sing, though.
Yeah.
She can sing.
And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the Cult either. So, like, a lot of times they'll play, like... They usually play, like, She Sells Sanctuary. or Firewoman every now and then. But I'm not a huge fan of that. But like I said, I've kind of softened my stance on that.
Here she is. She's coming in here for her. She's a very cute woman. And I she can sing fucking like crazy.
Man, it's like, I was gonna say it's bringing back memories, but he probably played it.
Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't play it last week because it was Memento Mori, but he probably played it the week before last.
Yeah,
I think he did.
yeah.
It was kind of like, so our friend Dr. Michael, the veterinarian, he has a similar thing, but he fucking hates Morrissey.
Yeah.
So every time like Morrissey comes on, or the Smiths, which he'll usually play like at least one Morrissey or Smith song like over the course of the night, and he will just like throw up his hands in like aggravation and just like go outside. It's like, it's kind of hilarious like how much he hates Morrissey. I get hating Morrissey as a person. He's pretty hateable, but
No, I like Morrissey.
but you know what I mean?
He's a bitch, but he's supposed to be.
But I mean, the Smiths.
He whines, he complains.
The Smiths got me through my teenage years,
Yeah.
among other things. So I can't be too mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a good time call, wasn't he in the Smiths? Yeah, he was. Like I said, I was a huge Smiths fan when I was a teenager.
Zachary is looking Madonna. No, she doesn't sound anything like Madonna.
Not really. Madonna.
Listen to the song.
I kind of, you know what? I kind of don't mind Madonna's early shit.
Yeah.
Up until probably about 84, 85. But she doesn't have a great voice, or she didn't back then.
Yeah.
It was a distinctive voice. You could always tell it was her. But she's not a great singer, really.
Yeah,
she kind of got better as time went on, but...
That particular song, it sounds like some kind of Latin song, almost kind of like something from fucking Cuba or something. Kind of tropical sounding. There's no way to describe it.
It's a weird song.
Just a weird song, yeah.
I don't know. But like I said, he plays it pretty much. He must really dig that song because he plays it like almost every week.
It's one of his favorite songs.
And I don't like it. he knows I don't like it, I think. Because he sees me react like every time.
It's very intense. It's very intense vocal work.
Here's this fucking thing.
Moreto quanto
Well, honestly, I'm gonna... One of the things that I'm gonna say that I like about a lot of 80s music is the drama.
Yeah, super drama.
Like, well, the cool thing about it is that I feel like after and this happened in movies too. I feel like after the 90s came along, like it wasn't cool to just be like have regular emotions anymore, so you had to be like ironic and like, you know what I mean? So you had to be like removed from everything, like I'm too cool for that shit now. So everything became I don't know, everything became, like I said, ironic. So you couldn't have genuine emotion anymore. So I kind of feel like the 80s, like some of the songs in there are just like they're very earnest. You know what I mean? Like, and and I kind of like that. You know what I mean? And I kind of like that about it. Because I kind of didn't like it when everything got, like, too cool for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't really like that. Like, it's like, well, we can make a horror movie, but we have to be making fun of horror movies at the same time. Like, we can't, like, take it seriously. This isn't that scary. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm glad that that's kind of gone by the wayside at this stage.
All right, we'll see you around, Pop.
Because that kind of made me mad.
We're going to shut the show down in a bit anyway.
All right. So, good night, Papa. Thank you very much for the super chats.
Yeah.
Enjoy the house to myself. Wow.
Yeah.
All the people that live there, they must have all gone out for the night.
Yeah.
I mean, Friday night. Zach says, I posted to the Ask the Old People subreddit. Ask Old People. I need to go check that out sometime. Let's see. Because I'm an old person, so maybe I could answer some questions. Asking what fashion trends from their young people... The young people hated even back when the top answer was shoulder pads. Yeah, I will, as someone that grew up in the 70s and 80s, I will attest, I fucking hated shoulder pads.
I didn't even notice shoulder pads.
I hated shoulder pads.
I didn't even notice them.
And you couldn't buy shit without them.
Yeah, it was just part of it.
I remember buying stuff, blouses and dresses and stuff like that, and cutting the fucking shoulder pads out.
I didn't even notice them.
I already have big shoulders, okay? I don't
everywhere.
need bigger fucking shoulders. Come on.
They were everywhere, so
I looked like a fucking linebacker.
I didn't notice them.
It's like, I don't need that. So... I
don't know about you, but I want to get something to eat.
Oh. You're We're ready to wrap it up already?
Yeah. Well, it's getting late.
You're getting fussy?
It's getting late. I'm getting fussy.
He's getting fussy.
Would you want to go to? Do you want to go to Circle K? You want to eat what I got here?
Well, you made
split pea soup, but we could get us sandwiches too. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's up to you. What do you feel like?
Man, I wouldn't mind getting one of them fucking barbecue rib fucking sandwiches.
Oh, he wants to go to Circle K.
Yeah, fucking Circle K, yeah.
He wants to go to Circle K, I think it's what it
is.
Yeah. All right, so Tom wants to go to Circle K. He's getting fuzzy.
I'm getting fuzzy.
So I guess we have to
And then we got a party tomorrow.
Even though it's only 10 o'clock.
Yeah, but we're going to watch Farscape, too.
That's true.
Can't sit around talking to these losers.
Oh, my goodness, Tom.
We're going to watch Farscape, too, man. Let's get something to eat.
You're terrible. I might also have another drink when I get back.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's Friday night. Why not?
Yeah,
yeah. I can actually sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah, you can sleep in.
Well, no, I can't because the cat will wake me up.
Okay, yeah.
At 6:30 in the morning. Could be like, hey, feed me. But yeah. So, all right. We're going to wrap it up for this evening, I suppose. So, yeah, thank you, everybody, for dropping by this evening and hanging out with us. Thank you for your super chats. We'll be back on Monday for the movie review. I don't know what movie it's going to be. We'll figure something out, as we usually do. So, hopefully, you guys can join us for that. Have a good rest of your evening. Have a good weekend, you guys. And we will see you again on Monday night.